We are now. Hey! Woo! Welcome, one and all. Welcome back, my friends, to the story that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside. Come inside. Welcome to Reality Break. I don't know where that intro came from. And we have a child in the background.
Love you. What's up?
Drive by.
Stream.
Love it. Pro stream.
We got a streaker.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not quite that bad, but welcome to Reality Break, where we take a break from the real world to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons! Dungeons and Dragons! There's in the sweatshirt. Woo! That one right there. So, tonight, the party is going to need to pick up the pieces left over from a unexpected and tenuous battle with some automatrons and animatronics, automations,
Hi, Freddy.
Autobots. Roll out.
You were gonna say like McChicken for a
McChicken.
second. I don't know why. It's just what I heard.
The battles.
You were
I
like,
battled some chickens today.
automatons, McChickens.
McChickens. But before we get into tonight's session, D, what do we love more than anything in the world except Dungeons and Dragons and our loved ones?
McRibs.
Yeah. No.
No.
Give you the
Clips.
clips. That's it.
Clips,
That's the
Tony.
one.
We
That's
love
the one.
clips so much, and I know this is definitely news to like a majority of you guys.
I don't even know
But-
what clips are.
Oh,
Please
well,
explain.
Let me tell you, Brennan. So clips are this lovely thing that Twitch allows us to do, and you to do by
Have
giving
Me?
hashtag I love us. It gives us more content. So we provide you with this content, and you provide the more content in the clips. And that more content goes to our YouTube channel, to our Instagram, to our Twitter, to our TikTok. That's right, I said it. TikTok.
Whoa.
which we have over 500 followers on.
We're getting closing in on 600.
553 last check.
What?
Guys, we are
Oh,
almost
okay,
at
we're
100.
almost at 600.
We're almost at 3 digits on Twitch,
Yeah, let's go, dude.
So like,
which is still
Thanks
just
to
baffling.
you.
calls in,
And
bring
And
your friends.
it's because of you all's help with your clips. Boom, tied it back.
Boom.
So
Sure,
I'm
fine.
confused. Which do we love more, content or clips?
Clips are
The
content.
clips give us the
Clips are
Our
content.
content.
To be turned into content.
Ooh, content.
And then
More
our content turns into
Table
clips.
etiquette.
So it's
Content's
like the
made of
never-ending
clips.
circle.
Yes. It's like a Venn diagram of being a content creator.
Yeah.
Is that it? I don't know why I did that for a Venn diagram. That's clearly just a square.
Venn
That's a
diagram
square.
is it's two circles, dude.
Circular Venn diagrams are so last season.
There, I get it! I did it! Look, I'm doing it! I'm doing it!
There you go.
I personally like the goose-shaped Venn diagram. So you have one goose here and then another goose here.
What
I
kind of
need
Venn
more of
diagrams?
that in my life, and I am never doing a circular Venn diagram ever again. It's only geese.
Geese diagram.
Diagram. Oh, good lord.
Thank you, D, for filling us in on clips. It's very much appreciated.
And now I'm going to fill myself with popcorn.
Popcorn. Nom 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 nom.
Did you bring enough to share?
Yeah, hit me up.
Yeah.
You're supposed to. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't want
Just
any
popcorn.
anyway.
I would have loved it if she had just thrown popcorn at her camera.
Or even better, throwing it to the side. Because
Yeah,
on Discord,
third
I'm right
side
next to her, so she could have
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
that.
If only we had some popcorn, he'd just
Oh, I
be like,
could.
Ow.
All right, Tony, get ready. No, I'm gonna do it. Get ready.
Ow!
Arnold, eat that.
It's good.
Arnold, eat that.
Snap.
Welcome to
It'll be
Reality Break,
fine.
where we occasionally take ourselves seriously.
Once in a while.
Like,
Occasionally.
very rarely.
Ever?
But when we do it, when we do take ourselves seriously, it's usually so awesome.
Yes.
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 All right. So, Yeah, so clip. Make sure you do the clapper thing. Make sure you title the clip, because that helps with discoverability. It helps with Twitch in the algorithm, which I never realized that algorithm was such a prevalent word outside of like algebra. These days.
Dude, if you're on TikTok for 5 minutes and it's all anybody is talking about is the algorithm.
Yeah.
And it also helps us know why you clipped it.
Exactly.
That's true, and that
Yes.
helps when we're looking for clips to put on
Out
other
there.
places, is to know
Yeah.
to remember what moment it was and why you thought it was funny. Or
Exactly.
interesting.
Yep. Yep. So do those clips. If you want to, it's perfectly fine. And then give our socials a follow when you get a chance to. It's all good stuff, and we have fun doing it. So now, unless anybody has anything else, I think we're ready to dive in to the world of
Discord,
Starhel.
the break room.
Break room.
Go join
yeah,
our
we have
break
that
room
thing.
Discord.
Yeah, you want to take a permanent break from the real world? Go join the break room. It's our Discord server. We've got stuff going on there quite frequently, and we're trying to.
That sounds so ominous.
Quite frequently, there's stuff.
If you want to take a break from the real world
Forever.
forever.
Sorry. My apologies.
That's
I
what
did not mean to
speaking
sound that
constantly
creepy.
is for.
Would you like to
It's
break
never-
your reality? Break-
Like only wake up to eat and go to the bathroom and then just sleep
That's
the rest of the time.
Yeah, it's a
Never
eat,
participate
sleep,
in the real world.
breathe, reality break. Do it. No,
Yep.
that makes it sound like a follow for follow or a SAS. We're definitely not that. So, but yeah. So go check it out. It's fun. We're trying to post more stuff out there, and we have a good time with it. So there you go. Now, unless anybody has anything else, we return to the world of Starhel. Last we left our party, they were out enjoying a parade celebrating the anniversary of the start of the revolution. There was a parade where there was musicians, there was performers, there was a 4-H club, and yeah, cows. And the parade ended with these large moving statues that had been built by the Inventors Guild, of which one of our party members is a member of. It's that one.
It's me.
But
Apparently, I am the problem.
but in the middle of the parade, these moving statues all of a sudden came alive and started attacking the crowd. After some vicious blows by an, lack of a better way to put it, fake dragon on dear Morag, and Kira hanging on for dear life as same dragon is trying to whip her off. We got Flynn throwing giant cubes, trying to befuddle and confuse. Jen is in there punching everything till it explodes.
Yes.
And Clancy in the back casting spells left and right. They finally reach a point where they defeated a majority of the monsters, and then the remaining statues fell lifeless and unmoving. So that is quite literally where we pick up. So as you guys are, taking a second, taking in what happened, trying to, kind of calibrate your thoughts, from down the street, you see Commander Icewind running up with about 5 or 6 different troops, 5 or 6 members of the garrison, and so he gets there. He sees what's he kind of surveys the situation, and he starts barking out orders to the troops, saying, "No, you two go over there and check on those civilians. You guys go over there on crowd control, make sure that everybody's okay." And he walks over to the group of you and says, "What in the hell's happened here?"
Before he arrives, I want to run over to the sergeant, and I just wanted to ask his name and ask if he was okay.
Oh, yeah, that one that was went berserk on them. Yeah, it was a good one.
So you walk over to, as you get closer, you realize that it's a short dwarf. It's a short dwarf with the salt and pepper beard. You walk over him, and he's sitting there, kind of like, you see him looking at the giant mechanical spider he was attacking, and kind of like poking at it with his sword to make sure that it doesn't move.
You all right?
That I am. It takes more than a little mechanical spider to get the best of me.
Oh, good.
You push your mic back just a little bit.
No, I want you to be blown out. All right.
I
sorry.
also have a quick question.
Sure.
Is Morag still bloodied? When we left off, she was bloodied.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
she
have
has
not
healed or anything.
I did.
I just wanted to make
I
sure where we were.
did cure wounds on myself,
Okay.
so I'm.
So you're not
Better,
clinging
but
to a
not
thread
great.
anymore. Okay.
I still don't necessarily know that, but still.
I just wanted
I'm
to
going to
know.
check on
Okay.
him really quick.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Real quick.
fine for now.
Real quick too. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this. Kira, you get a hero point for your fun stunt on the dragon, and Morag, you get a hero point for your love conversation with Ace before the battle started.
Oh my god! When
I thought you could
taking a
say
leap
where I got
matters.
0 point for getting beat up.
I also thought that's where that was going. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So you run over, yeah, and he's like, I'm fine, don't you worry about me. It'll take more than some mechanical beast to take me out.
Oh, I have no doubt in my mind. That was quite the wallop you took there, but I just want to make sure you're okay. What was your name again?
I'm Sergeant Sarnak Bitteraxe.
Sarnak Bitteraxe. I'm going to put in a good word for you. You did excellent today. I've got to go check on my companions.
You betcha. Yeah, so you run over, and this is where Icewind, so you run, you check on Sergeant, then you run back over to your compatriots as Icewind walks over to the 5 of you and goes, what the hell's happened here?
I'm gonna be immediately gesturing to the 2 locations where civilians were most likely harmed.
Mm-hmm.
But we definitely would like to know the same, because there was definitely some strange magic afoot here.
Yeah. No, so you believe magic was involved?
Their eyes were glowing purple, and they had a purple aura about them. They were not living beings, and they were not machines.
Interesting.
They started out as machines, but definitely not moving like machines.
Yeah.
And during that Kira's gonna walk over to where the phoenix was, because that was the last one that fell, and that's kind of where she kind of was, and start like poking at it and trying to see if there was something special about the phoenix that made everything else fall down.
I'm gonna watch her back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to investigate the dragon if at all possible.
Sure. Okay. So Kira first, investigation, and Jen, you're helping her.
Helping and then watching their backs.
Okay. All right. So
like, advantage helping.
yeah. So you get advantage. Morag, you are investigating the dragon. You can roll
I'll
advantage.
give
as
her
well.
a hand.
Okay.
And
So
basically, I'm keeping on alert for if anything starts moving again or whatever.
Also going to mention to Icewind that that sergeant over there is a pretty cool dude.
Yeah.
He held his
He's the
ground.
only one that did anything. The other ones got
everybody
too
else
scared.
was having some trouble.
yes, yeah.
So-
Sergeant Bitteraxe. Yeah, he's a veteran of the Revolution. Yeah, I'm very familiar with his work. He's one of my most trusted lieutenants. So
You need to
He
get some
deserves a
brave.
promotion.
Yeah, you need to get some braver folks on your team.
Bonus.
Maybe some more halflings.
I'm always looking to strengthen the numbers, especially after something like this. So, all right, Kira.
I got a 15.
15? Okay. Nothing too remarkable about the Phoenix. I mean, you pick up because it wasn't like the Phoenix wasn't completely shattered or anything. So you do take your time to look it over. It's very well made. Like you could kind of see where maybe there was like something could be put in there to make the wings move on its own, but it didn't look like it had that in that moment. So it's very well crafted, but outside of that, you don't notice anything like super nefarious about it or anything.
No, like weird writing or
No.
funny residue. Okay.
Yeah. Morag.
A 16.
16. So you start combing over the dragon. The first thing you notice, as you're kind of walking over the carcass and all that, is a bloodied hand sticking out of the middle of it.
Oh.
That's nice. Not mine, is it?
Oh God!
Get it? Because I'm missing one.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes. There
there it
One.
I was wondering where that went. I've been looking for you for like 20 years.
So long.
Like 25 years.
This was my phoenix. Oh.
No, you so you see the hand and you start kind of clearing it away, and you come across a dwarven man, looking fairly young. Well, for a dwarf. It's a dwarf heavy episode apparently.
The is attached to the man.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, is the man alive?
So you give him a look over. No, he is clearly dead. And because you're looking at the body and you kind of see where some of the like when the dragon had collapsed, you see where some of the like wooden timbers and stuff like that had jammed into his body from collapsing in on itself.
Is it normal for the statue things to have had a person manipulating them inside of them? Would Morag know that?
Do I need to roll history?
No. With a 16 investigation, you can kind of see, because what you notice on top of his on top of like the fact that he's dead and he's got all these stuff in them, is that there's ropes tied to his arms, and when you like kind of follow the ropes, you follow them along and you find where they were like attached to the wings and you kind of put two and two together and like, okay, he must have been in the dragon and then he's the one that was pulling the ropes to make the wings flap before they came alive.
Am I relaying this information?
You relay it how you want to.
All right. Well, I've got some not so good news, but also, well, no, it's really just not so good. So I found a young man in here, and it would appear that, I mean, these were clearly made by the Inventors Guild, but they were man-operated, or at least they were supposed to be. So the fact that there is some sort of arcane source going on with this means that it probably wasn't the Inventors Guild that did
like it
this.
was tampered with.
Right. Exactly, yeah. It's been tampered with.
At the word mention of Arcana, Clancy, give me an Arcana check.
Yes. So that's one of the things I was wanting to do.
Yep.
Ooh, 19, just shy of a dirty 20.
Ooh, that's pretty
Nice
still pretty
job.
good. All right.
That's good though.
All right, so I'm sending you something.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's Dungeons and Dragons.
Should just do that instead of the dun 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 Dungeons and Dragons.
love it.
Yeah, so you guys are looking everything over, and you see Icewind kind of talking to some of the other staffers. He's talking to Sergeant Bitteraxe, and he kind of comes back to where all you guys are looking over, and he says, "All right, I am gonna have to report everything that happened back to Governor Strong, and then also I have to check in with the other garrison commanders because a lot of the other major cities were having festivities of this, similar to this, and so I need to make sure that we need to open up our emergency line of communications to make sure that, you know, if anything's
Do you think
caught,
this could have happened elsewhere?
That's
as well?
that's what I'm on my way to find out.
Do we know where Governor Strong went?
Yeah,
and that guy,
I was,
the gnome who was with him.
Yeah, the gnome is just his sorcerer assistant. He's, you know, they're like a scribe, something like that. I was actually over at where the parade began with Governor Strong, and we were discussing how what the rest of the day's activities were going to look like, and things like that. So kind of finalizing the agenda. But now I'm definitely going to go back to him to report on this and tell him that we are definitely having to cancel pretty much any plans we had for the rest of the day. And then he turns to Sergeant Bitteraxe. He says, "Sergeant Bitteraxe, I leave you in charge. Please, when things get wrapped up here, please report back to me everything that happens." And he goes, "Aye, sir." And Icewind walks off.
Jen sort of nudges Kira at the mention of the gnome being a sorcerer.
We should check him out for sure, or them out for sure.
Okay.
But I
All
also think we should check out the wagons as well and the other constructs, just in case one of them had some sort of source, or something that triggered this. It just seems weird. And maybe talk to the Inventors Guild. I don't know.
Clancy,
I mean,
don't
it's
you
not
know
really our
about
job,
magic?
but-
About the Inventors Guild, really quick. Icewind, before you go.
Yeah.
I know
yes.
he's already basically gone, but I'm
Yeah, retconning a little bit.
timeline.
Yep.
Before you go, was there a point of contact here from the Inventors Guild?
Not here. What we did is we, for the last couple weeks when this was being planned out, we had reviewed all the garrison commanders had reviewed applications and stuff like that from the various people that wanted to participate from the Inventors Guild in various areas, and then once we approved those applications, we worked on timelines for getting things here and what they needed and stuff like that. So regrettably, we don't have a specific contact in town because the Inventors Guild is still relatively new, so they don't have quite a lot of offices or local guild offices or anything like that yet.
Right.
But everything we channeled through the headquarters of the
Who
Inventors
approved
Guild.
the applications?
Right. Who were the applicants, and could we get that information?
I could let you know about the applicants that I reviewed. Myself and Governor Strong, because we both looked at them together and approved them together. So I could let you know the applicants that we reviewed. In terms of some of the other cities, that would be something that you'd have to either go to the Inventors Guild headquarters or stop at each individual city and ask about.
I think we could just start with the list of the ones here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I was gonna say there had to have been someone here to set things up and get them going. And I mean, clearly this young man who was in the
if you want
dragon was a
to,
member.
I need to go talk to Governor Strong. So if you guys want to stop by my office later this afternoon, please feel free to do so. But I really have to let him know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Because all we did was we were over there talking, and then we heard a loud crash, and then screams, and then, I left a couple of guards with him. I left a couple garrison troops with him, and then I took off myself. So.
Well, go.
All
Yeah.
right, thank you.
After Icewind leaves, I'm going to turn to Clancy and be like, Clancy, you know at least a little bit about magic. Wouldn't someone have to be here to make it happen? Is there a way that they could have cast a spell that would happen later without anyone here?
Well, I do know that there is magic that exists that you can make objects move that aren't real or that aren't alive. You can make them alive, but it's a particularly strong magic. You've got to be quite skilled and quite well versed in magic to actually be able to use it.
Interesting. How skilled are we talking?
Don't assume this.
Okay. Yeah, I'll fill you in on that. I won't send that. That's fine. The number plus the size means they'd have to be pretty powerful.
And
Tira's gonna start scanning the rooftops.
and they'd have to be here though, right?
That would require some concentration, I would imagine. Unless it was. I mean, just my own.
Yeah.
Flynn doesn't necessarily know that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, it'd be scary if it's something that you could make happen and not even be here.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you guys are having this conversation, you're hearing Sergeant Bitteraxe be like, "All right, medics over here. Go check those folks out over there. All right, you go over there. Talk to that group. They were close to where that happened. Start asking questions, and you see him just kind of doing similar to what Icewind was doing, starting to direct people and start doing crowd control to get the major crowd out of the way once to after people are getting looked at and stuff like that. So.
I suppose, could I actually roll for history or something to see if maybe Flynn had heard something in stories about maybe wizards or somebody that could use magic of not being there?
Yeah, you can do a history check, sure.
Does Kira see anything at the rooftops? Any suspicious characters?
Roll another investigation check.
I would like
11.
to make my way over to Flynn.
Okay. 11. Kind of the same thing Clancy said. You know, powerful magic would be responsible for something like this, but outside of that, it's you don't have a lot of specifics because that wasn't your area of expertise when you were traveling and stuff. So, but all you know is what Clancy kind of confirmed, which is that pretty powerful magic would have been needed to do this amount of activity.
I'll just be, after making sure Kira and Morag were all set after examining those, I'll just sort of make my way back to a defensive position on Flynn.
Okay.
I rolled a 2, by the way, so I didn't see anything.
Yeah, nothing up there.
A bird!
Nothing up there.
Just not a smoke around here.
Yeah, some leftover flowers got in your eye.
Man, it still smells like apple pie.
About this.
On my way over
not
to
helpful.
Flynn, I would like to take the potion of healing.
Okay, go ahead.
What is the
2d4 plus 2.
Thank you.
Yep.
Blocking robot!
Well, I was looking it up, and then I was like, I'm just gonna ask. Somebody doesn't know it off the top of their head.
Yep. And as you're drinking your health potion to heal yourself back up, you do notice Ace over where some of the people had gotten hurt with the attacks from the monsters. He's over there. Looks like he's got some kind of medical kit. He's helping patch people up.
Okay.
Patch people up that he can. And then there's
Just like drooling like my hero.
Right. And then you also guys clearly see other areas where like the guard runs over, like the guards run over, look at the body, check a pulse, and then like take their cape off and like drape it over the body and kind of move on to the next one. So
when I get over to Flynn, I would like to just like lean into him and be like, can you do me a favor and cast a message to Ace and just make sure that he's okay?
I can definitely do that. Do you want Jen to do that? She's really good at that. I mean, I
Mine's
can.
only 30 feet.
But
oh yeah, okay.
He also can't respond to her, so how would you know if he's okay?
All right.
Hope you're doing good.
Hope you're good. I'm good. It's good to see you. Okay.
Hi.
Bye.
Hi.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
That's 26 words, right?
I thought it was 25.
I'm just
Haha, I don't have a word cap, just a distance cap.
Yeah.
I am double checking it right now. I just read through this twice and I did not see a cap on it.
Oh.
No,
I
you
know
have a
there
distance. Message doesn't have a word cap, sending does.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
Sending. not
Sending.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay. So I'm using message as a cantrip. It's 120 feet. I just have to point my finger at him.
Yep. And he is less than 120 feet away, so you're fine.
Okay.
Uncle Sam him.
I want you
I need
to
I
you.
want
respond back
you
to me.
tell Morag how you feel.
I
We
need
already
you to
did
take
that.
care of my
Remember,
sister.
they're
Yeah.
in love.
We're in love.
All right.
We're in love.
So, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of point my finger at him. There's gotta be some little bit of wispy smoke that comes out the end, and
Sure.
I see it, but no one else can really see it. It's like
Sure.
it goes right up into his ear.
Sure.
And hey, so Morag's over here asking about you. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. She's kind of okay, but so how's it going?
How you doing?
So he responds back. So like, you see him like kind of look around. He looks at you, and it kind of goes back to what he's doing, and then, you see the
Yes,
little
I can
smoke
hear you.
whisper. No, what you see is the little wispy smoke coming back.
Yeah.
And he says, you hear him say, "Yeah, I'm fine. Got a little scared for a second, but luckily she was there to help keep me safe. And yep, I'm over here, just helping patch people up as best I can. So, but I'm good. Let her know that I'm glad she's okay, and thank her for saving the day again."
Does he also
Lou.
have this ability, or
Oh no,
He's just
message you
about
can
it.
send back and forth between people. So.
Yep.
It's like a text message, but thought.
Pretty much a thought message.
With fingers.
Thought
Yep.
message with fingers.
And apparently a little wispy smoke. So also as you guys,
LOL. Sorry.
smiley emoji.
IDK, my BFF Jill.
Yeah. IDK, my BFF Jill. So as you guys are also kind of, Kira's up scanning the roofs, Jen's over there in her defensive position, Clancy's kind of over there looking stuff over. You guys do also notice the two guards that were standing by the Atlas statue. You see them kind of stop for a second, and then kind of clamor, like listen in on one of the legs, like of the statue, and then start like take their swords out and start like ripping the side of the canvas open.
I'm gonna go over there and find out what's going on. I'm assuming it's another dude inside the other big statue.
The big statue man was pregnant.
The statue man has a little statue man inside.
Oh, it was
It's
pregnancy
like
all
those,
along.
dolls that have the
Russian
dolls.
nesting dolls.
Yeah.
Nesting dolls, yeah.
There we go. So who's walking over?
Me.
1, 2, 3, 4. That means Jen is too.
Yeah.
Be following Flynn, yeah.
Yep. So as you guys walk over, you notice one of the guards climb in and kind of like climb into the hole he tore, and then kind of like help somebody down. And you see this fairly young-looking dwarven woman, kind of hop out and kind of
It's a girl.
be like, and she's just kind of sitting there, like kind of like thank you, and like kind of trying to catch her breath.
More dwarfs.
It's a dwarf.
Are there a lot of dwarfs in the Adventure Guild, Morag?
Well, inventing and working with your hands doesn't really know a race. So whoever wants to join can, even if you have one arm. Especially if you have one arm, actually. There's a lot of people missing limbs.
I'm just curious for clarification purposes as a player. What is dwarves' take on magic in Starhel?
It's not a race specification in Starhel.
Okay.
It's a region specification. So like
Okay.
most of the regions are pretty accepting of it because it was deemed bad for so long, or not bad, but like only certain people could do it. So a lot of the races that didn't know how to use magic before started actually started getting excited and getting into it more. Obviously there's still parts of the region that are still apprehensive about everyday people using it, but it's not a race specific thing, it's more of a region specific thing. So
Okay, cool.
I would like to question her.
Sure. So she gets out and she's kind of like catching her breath, and one of the guards hands her like a satchel of water, and she takes a big drink and she's like, "Oh, thank you, very kind of you, appreciate it." Wow. That was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Oh.
I'm glad to see that you're okay. I do have a few questions though, if you're up to it.
I kind of looks herself over. She's like, I'm okay. I can answer some questions. Are you with the garrison as well?
Yes, actually, but I'm also with the Inventors Guild. So,
Oh, cool.
a few more direct questions, if you
Sure.
will.
Yeah, sure.
Are you with the Inventors Guild?
Yeah. My name is Samnola Copper Arm. I am actually based out of like one of the only other Inventors Guild offices besides Arceus, out of Baroni. I came here with my cousin, Kardar, copper arm, and we were in charge of the we're calling them the moving statues for the parade. Have you guys seen him by any chance? He would have been in the dragon.
I'm sorry, side note, what was the cousin's name?
Carter.
Carter.
Pincushion.
Yeah, Karder. Carter.
We have some
Currently a
bad
voodoo doll.
news.
Yeah, slightly
what happened?
bad news.
What happened
on
to
that
him?
subject.
Is he okay?
Calm emotions.
He did not make it through the battle. He was destroyed by the device that he was operating.
What?
I'm gonna put a hand behind her in case she gets weak.
Yeah, and she starts to wobble.
I'll put my arm on her shoulder, kind of hold her up a little bit.
She steadies herself. She does start not like full sobbing, but definitely like tearing up. But she does steady herself. She kind of keeps herself in check, and she says, "Yeah, okay, okay, oh God, what am I gonna tell his parents? What did a monster attack him? What? I mean, he should have been. He was in the dragon. He should have been safe from pretty much anything.
Do you remember what happened? Do you remember a purple glow? Do you remember anything?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah. She's trying to compose herself. Well, we were, so we got the signal to go, and we were, he probably would have been, pulling his arms down to move the wings, and I was, kind of like pushing my legs down to have the thing go up and down. And everything was fine. Everything was fine. And then all of a sudden, like, everything around me turned purple, and like everything just started moving, and I tried to like push down really hard, which would have been like the stop thing to like stop it from moving, and no matter how hard I pushed it, the legs just kept moving, and the arms, and then I heard screams, and I was just so scared.
It's okay. Did you feel anything? Did you personally feel anything in your head? Did you hear anything? Or did you just not have control?
No, nothing was like in my head or nothing. I just couldn't feel like I couldn't do anything, because I couldn't do anything, because I was trying to do everything I could, and and there was screaming, and oh God, did I hurt people?
No, you didn't hurt anyone. You didn't hurt anyone.
None of this is your fault.
I'm gonna hug her.
Do not blame yourself for anything that has happened.
Hey, you hug her, then she starts sobbing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna whisper in her ear, "You didn't hurt anybody."
If I can, at this point, I'm gonna start like singing like a calming song, a lullaby or something.
Yep.
Hush, little girl, everything will be fine later tonight.
She doesn't like stop, but the big tears turn into like sniffles and slight sobs, so it's helping a little bit.
I'm gonna kind of take her somewhere to the side a little bit, still eyes on the party, but take her somewhere to sit down. I don't want to take her over to her cousin. I don't think that she needs to see that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you take her over. I mean, at this point, the guards have kind of like got crowd control going on, so you can just kind of like sit right next to like one of the barricades that's still up by the side of the road, so. Oh God! Why did that happen? Why?
We don't know, but we're gonna find out. I just have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Was there anyone involved in your parade today that was new to your group or that you didn't know?
No. It was me and Carter and and that was it. We kind of pulled the wagons, and we took everything ourselves because, we inventors, we like to be in charge of our stuff. So it was us the whole time, and then when we got here, there was that Dragonborn guy was here, and he assigned us. Yeah, that's it. He assigned guards, or I guess garrison troops, to pull the wagons when we were get here and get everything set up. But I mean, it was us from Baroni to here. Oh, what am I gonna tell his parents?
Don't worry about that now.
Morag, can you come with me?
Of course.
Where are you going, Flynn?
I'm just going with Morag over to go check out the Atlas. So, I'm gonna climb inside and go check out the stuff, and I'm gonna need your expertise on this.
Morag looks back at Jin and just says, "Why don't I go inside? Can I fit inside?"
Can she fit inside?
It would be like you wouldn't be able to climb up, but you can at least get in one of the legs to look around. Because the chest area of the Atlas is about the size of a dwarf, maybe a little bit bigger. So Flynn would be able to get up there easy, but the best you could do is get in one of the legs and kind of look around from down there. So
I wanted to see if I could find anything. If maybe there was a plant, maybe there was a rune on something or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna check the wagons too for the same sort of thing.
Okay. I will assist.
Symbols,
I guess.
Symbols, writing, etc.
Okay. Clancy, do you want to help Kira with investigating the wagons?
Sure.
Okay. Alright, so Kira and Flynn, you guys can roll investigation checks with advantage from the people assisting you.
Listen,
that's a nat 20!
Woo!
Nice.
Can I get a nat?
Find the bad guy. It's solved.
It's over.
We've won Dungeons and Dragons.
Hopefully the clue was in the Atlas.
Dungeons and Dragons.
You win!
Thanks for coming out, everybody.
Oh, what do you know? There's a dungeon inside this dragon.
You win!
We're at the wrong statue for that.
Alright.
Yeah.
There we go. Alright, so, with a nat 20, you are, clamoring over, now that it's not moving and trying to kill you, or anybody, you find it's very easy to move around. Nat 20, it is, incredibly well crafted, which tells you that, it probably would have taken more than just the two of them to put it together. Just the fact of all the pieces, and the fact that, kind of similar to what Kira found with the Phoenix, there were places that you could see that this thing could have done even more, which once again implies that it was probably more than just the two of them that worked on it. They probably would have had some kind of help, whether it was, assistants they hired or other guild members. You don't know, but you just know that with how much time, with how well this was put together, there would have need to be more than one person. You don't find any kind of runes or any emblems carved into the wood or anything that looks out of place in that regard. But yeah, you just would have known that this would have been a big team of people that would have helped put it together. All right, Kira, what'd you get on yours?
13. I have a +0 to investigation. I need to stop investigating.
But you're also the rogue. The rogue's one of that should be something you're good at.
You want to start giving me things to perceive?
Perceive.
Perceive. I must perceive things.
I would rather perceive things than investigate things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Rogue mood.
13. It's a wagon. You see that it was.
Wow.
Well, you see that it was specially enforced because it was having heavier than normal stuff on it. But outside of that, it's just a regular flat wagon.
So
very plain wagon.
Very plain wagon. Great. Helpful. Can I tell that this is the wagon that probably transported the statues from?
Yeah, because
like,
it looked like
kind of wear on it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the supports were added later on. It was almost built into the wagon, so it was like specially built for holding these up, which means it probably would have been used to transport them all the way from wherever they came from.
Would Flynn's investigation have done for the outside as well, or is there a point to doing an investigation for the outside of it?
Inside and outside is going to get you kind of the same result. So, all
right.
We'll say the nat 20 gives him a full perspective of everything. So, and that's what he garners from everything you found out.
Wow, it's very anatomically correct.
Oh my god.
Not the time, Flynn.
Flynn, get out of the float, please.
What? You should check out the butt cheeks on this thing.
First, how do you see those from the inside? Second,
Don't ask.
Please, dear God, get out of the... Get out.
Now you know my struggle.
I'm looking down the leg. Did you get that? Don't ask.
I swear to God, and I just walk away.
I'm just gonna slide down the leg, whee, and start walking out.
There you go.
So even with like the mechanism that she was standing on, there's like nothing special with that. It's just a brake and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the mechanism is kind of similar to what you guys would have noticed with Carter and the wings, where it's something that would have been like tied on, and then there were pedals to kind of push, and then there was a pulley system that allowed the legs to kind of move up and down. And then there was similar, like she said, pushing down really hard would have like stopped, like shut it down.
Stopped everything.
Yeah.
Right. So is it clear then that the things would be functioning normally now, or are they permanently broken after whatever happened to them, as far as being able to move and or stop?
With Flynn's nat 20, it looked like Samnola could climb right back in and start working it again.
Okay.
Without a
So
problem.
it was a short term. It was just an effect on them.
It was straight up full-fledged magic from something else.
Mm-hmm. Somebody had to have been here. There's no way they could have done this from far away.
Yeah, this is not artificial work, that's for sure.
Well, here's what I think. I think there's a couple things we could do. We could check out wherever they were stored from, you know, wherever they came from, Baroni or whatever, and see if there's anything unusual there. Talk to the guards that were guarding them overnight. But I think our best bet's going to be talking to Icewind and find out if this happened anywhere else. And then, honestly, it might mean a field trip, guys.
That's
I was going to
my
ask.
assumption.
You were just saying, Kira, asking about if they came from Baroni, but I would wonder, especially if incidents happened elsewhere, if all the statues came from Baroni, or did they come from all over
places.
the world?
Yeah.
That's
I
true.
agree. That's why we need the information from Icewind before we make a decision if we need to go anywhere, and if we do, where we need to go.
Well, if he's not going to be back in his office anytime soon, I say that we help the garrison with a bit of crowd control and go from there.
And as far as our knowledge of the city at this point,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember, is there an actual mages college or something? Is there a magic specialist?
You'd be able to go to like a magic shop that has somebody that's, you know, that runs a magic shop. Because Furan is a very like industrious type city, if you've not figured it out. There's not magic is used here and it's appreciated and valued, but there's not a like magic college or a satellite college or anything like that here. The most you would have in a city, in an industrial city like this, is somebody that runs like a magic potion shop, or even a magic tome, like a small tomes library, something like that.
Okay.
Some of the other cities where there's a larger mix of type people would have more access to more larger magical resources, but here you can, check a magic shop or a tomes library, but that's gonna probably
right, and like the bardic colleges are in Vegas, in Edding, right?
Eden, yeah. Eden and
why do I always want to say Edding?
I don't know. Eden and Sabot would be the two places for bardic, and then Pastrinos is where the actual College of Mystics is, which is your sorcery school.
And vast majority.
Can't see that offhand.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's pretty traveled. And everybody's pretty traveled. And the fact that Pastrinos is like where everybody, because magic became recently, only 26 years ago, 25 years ago, became accessible to everybody. So everybody would know that if you want to learn how to study magic, no matter what your upbringing is,
that's where
you go to Pastrinos, yeah.
Right. I was just going to say that we should talk to more guards, but you know what? We basically, this entire campaign tonight, we've basically been standing in one spot staring at statues.
Well, so we help.
Yeah.
We're going to help.
Remember, there's guards on like crowd control.
Yeah.
And there's obviously, you see.
I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, and you obviously, because Biterax is still walking around, and he's going. If anybody has said they saw anything weird, write it down or flag me over. So we can like document and see if we can find out, so he's doing stuff like that. So
I'm gonna point at Biterax.
Sure.
I'm gonna, message him and say, hey, is there a chance we could get someone that has somewhat of a rough idea of magic from the city to come and investigate this?
And he once again looks around, sees you pointing at him. He goes, and you hear in your head, he goes, hey, there's a tome shop. Crap, now I gotta go pull up Furan's map.
Okay. I'll even just say, send a message back. Can you please have someone come get them? Or like bring them here.
I know where there's I could send a guard to grab someone from a tome shop in Old Meadow. They should be able to I don't know where you guys want to go, but I can have somebody run up there and see if they could have someone check in with you guys.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, and then you see him grab a guard and say, "Hey," and flag him. He flags him over and starts talking to him, and then the guard runs off.
I'll just before we leave, I'll just in passing, I'll just let him know that we're gonna be near Icewind.
All right, sounds good. I still got some cleaning up to do here. Me and the boys got some cleaning up to do here. So you can go about your way if you want, or you can stay and help. It's up to you. But we'll probably be here for a while cleaning up.
And make sure that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna make sure that the young dwarf woman, is at least settled with someone who's gonna get her a place to stay for tonight. Because she's going to need some time to make arrangements for her cousin and stuff like that. I just want to make sure she's taken care of before we head off. Otherwise, she can tag along with us when we go get lunch, but I don't want to be pushing and be like, hey, come with us.
Yeah, you flag one of the guards down. The guard says, sorry, ma'am, I can, we could go set you up at the dormitories.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe we could offer that.
To, it's not going to be comfortable, but at least someplace for you to settle in and, while we, get things taken care of here. And she goes, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, and she turns to you and says, I don't know what happened, and I'm really scared, and I just scared. I'm just scared.
Shoulder. Yeah, I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder. We're gonna find out.
Okay.
We're gonna figure out what happened.
Okay.
And nobody blames you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. That helps. Thank you. And the guard takes her off.
I'd like to say that maybe the DM could get a 0 point for
DM acting
for that NPC.
Honorary hero point because we don't actually want him to get extra points.
No. Yes. I'll give myself villain point.
No.
I love it. So while Jen was doing that and Flynn was talking to Sarge, Kira's gonna scan the rooftops again and look for the rooftop like around that area that's the highest, and is gonna climb up, typical thief fashion, go down an alley.
Assassin's Creed type.
Fire escapes.
Sure.
Like climb up to the top and to scan the rooftops from above.
Sure. In the city square, the tallest building is going to be the school. So
I'm staying away from it.
I have a judge's order that I have to stay away from.
No.
All right. So yeah, give me a quick acrobatics check.
Bad. Let me just eat a cookie now.
23.
Not a problem for you. You've done this dozens, hundreds of times. So, you climb yourself up there. Give me another. Give me another investigation, but I'll give you advantage because you're up high.
Okay. Oh god, my dice is running away. Maybe I don't want to use that one.
It doesn't want to be used, yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't want to be used.
It's a sign.
The dice tell the story. The dice all tell you, don't use me, I'm out!
11.
With advantage?
With advantage. I got an 8 and 11. And I have a +0.
The best that you notice
The next
is that...
time I get an ability increase, I'm getting something that gives me better investigation.
Intelligence, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
you
take, if you
gotta
can
be
take
smarter.
your expertise in it. That'll at least
Alright,
double your proficiency. Oh, you don't have it as a skill.
Yeah. So, yeah. The most with an 11, you notice
Sorry,
that.
I'll figure something out.
Yeah, with an 11, you notice that there's some alleyways, or some small alleyways and stuff in between buildings that people could duck into. And obviously, you see. What you also really notice is the damage done by that the boulder, the sphere that the statue was holding. Not sphere that the statue was holding. And you see that it full-on smashed the storefront. And you see a couple of the guards over there kind of inspecting it, kind of climbing in to make sure that nobody was in there. That's really, with 11, that's kind of really all you see.
What store was
What was the... Yeah, that was my question. What was the store?
It looked to be a restaurant that had been shut down because of the parade, luckily. Because you don't see the guards bringing, anybody out or anything, so it had been closed down because of the parade, so...
Sheesh, everybody's a critic.
The cheese fries were terrible!
I love how much of a kick Tony got out of that.
My
So the only
appetizer
place that-
took an hour to make!
The only place that was mentioned in character, because the other discussions we had kind of happened on the outskirts, was Baroni. The only place that was discussed, right?
Right now, yes.
Arceus.
Oh, in
'cause
Arceus.
Someone
Yeah.
mentioned that Arceus has the main office, I think.
Yeah,
or it
that's
has
right.
an
Yes.
office.
Okay.
Kira's just
have
gonna
a-
shake her head and climb down, I guess.
I have a
Yep.
side question that is
Let's do this.
been weighing on me for the last few minutes.
Sure.
When I investigated the dragon,
Yes.
did I kill him?
You look at it and you go, and you figure out that it really wasn't a specific blow or anything. It was more the fact that, it collapsed on him.
Okay.
So, because you clearly see, the large timbers and metal pipes and stuff
Yeah.
like that had pierced his body. So it wasn't Kira's daggers or your attacks or Clancy's spells or her punches. None of that did it. It was the fact that, because he was in the middle of it, but there was enough space. They're, kind of figuring out the geometry because you're good at stuff like that. None of the blows would have, gone down deep enough into the body to hurt him, but it was just the fact that it collapsed on him, so.
Can you imagine that poor bugger's view as he's looking up and suddenly seeing fire erupting from nothing?
Yeah.
Poor guy. Sorry about your last moments, pal.
For
You
real.
also just see some black goo dripping through. So,
That's right, because the dragon was blind at one point.
Yep.
Oh, at least he smelled pie before he died.
Oh my god. All right. So, are we helping with crowd control and then going to Icewind?
I
After
mean, I
lunch.
can't think of anything else.
Except lunch.
He
Crowd
smelled
control's-
Who
pie.
can think of food
No,
at
no,
a
no,
time
yes,
like
crowd
this?
control.
A controversial
control
opinion
first.
coming from an halfling, but I think making sure people are safe.
Yeah, crowd
Kinda
control
trumps
first,
lunch.
but then lunch, then Icewind.
I mean, crowd
Ah,
control, we
yes.
can literally be directing towards lunch. It's like, hey, everybody's hungry. Let's go get some food.
That's true. I mean,
You'll all feel better once you've eaten.
Alright,
All right.
so you guys are gonna go mingle with the crowd and stuff like that then? Is what I'm gathering?
Can we
We're just
ask
helping the
people if they
garrison.
saw anything?
Yeah, I mean, you clearly, there's some people that were clearly so startled of everything that happened that they're like, F this, I'm out. But there are obviously some other people that are kind of mingling about. Some of them are talking to the guard and, kind of, oh man, it moved it through the rock, and stuff like that.
Right. Okay, I guess I would be listening specifically or if we were talking to people, asking more if people saw someone acting strangely before the statue's animated.
yeah.
Okay.
Or purple glows anywhere else.
All right.
Mm.
So,
Or
all right,
someone just
so,
looking at the statues and just mumbling like they're
Mm.
casting something.
all right. So I kind of need some more specifics. So who exactly would be doing what? Let's start with Kira. Kira, because you did the nose thing first. What specifically
Listening
are you
patiently
doing?
while other people ask questions.
Okay. Flynn, what would you be doing?
I'm using my passive perception to see if I can hear anything that just the passersby talking about suspicious behavior. Like, that guy was sure acting weird.
Okay. Clancy, what specifically are you doing?
Clancy, because he has a higher charisma, he's gonna attempt to just kind of reassure everyone that in the surrounding area that everything's gonna be okay, and that we're gonna kind of figure everything out.
All right. I like that. Jen, what are you doing?
Same, just sort of helping keep ears out on people talking about odd happenings, especially people watching the parade.
Okay. And lastly, Morag. I saw you kind of had your hand half up.
Already forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Um,
My bad.
made me wait.
Sorry.
Oh, my question was, what race is Governor Strong?
He is a human.
Human. Okay. I really want to go talk to him.
It's up to you.
If you want to go talk to him, Kira will come with you.
Okay.
Please tell me you do the jump off the building into some it's like straw
This
or
is a
something like
superhero
that.
pose.
Yeah.
One
Or
dive.
dive into
Yeah,
the
yeah,
haystack.
Do it.
I can't do an eagle scream,
Considering
otherwise
it's
I
a
would have done it.
school, the odds of there being a random haystack next to it.
The
may not be
4-H club. Remember, the 4-H club did
Yeah.
come through.
4-H club was
That's
there.
true. That is true.
No, Kira.
Just land on
I
a
roll so
crowd of
terribly.
people.
I'll
That was
roll
fun.
the
Don't
only
do
time I
that.
can
No,
roll.
don't do that.
Crowd surfing. Oh my god.
No. She'll just climb down the way that she climbed down.
Yeah, that's fine. 23 on the way up. I assumed you're just fine on the way down, so you're good.
Yeah. Down is easier than up.
All right, so Morag and Kira gonna go talk to Governor Strong.
Yeah.
Okay. Flynn and Jen
Yes.
are kind of perceiving the crowd to try to see what they can pick up, and Clancy is going to reassure the folks, let them know that everything's gonna get figured out. All right. Well, before we do all that, let's go ahead and take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. This is a good place to take a small break. So go up, get your snacks, get your drinks, go potty, and let's see in the chat if you can if you have your theories about what's going on. So,
Ooh.
but don't tell the players because if we don't want chat to help.
Check out.
Yep. All right. So go take a quick break, and we will be back in a little bit.
Cockney rhyming speak. So I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes.
So I'm going to respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frog and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
Very second.
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah. You got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rules less hard, and you all can thank this bard. And you're damn right. I pulled that card, and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
And
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So
Yeah.
21.
That's fair.
Jesus.
Oh,
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
this little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you
literally
don't know
right.
about.
Like,
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
y'all.
Or multi-classing to tie into your character development. Oh, we lost Bill. Oh, now he's back. To tie into your character development and to tie into the story that's happening that you may or may not have control over. Like, the stuff that happened that made that happen was more...
And that's perfect.
Ever.
I'm completely off the rails. That's amazing. I love it. That's
Hashtag new profile pic.
All right, so
Those are fighting words.
are we showing Dominic to your room or going out for dinner? And
Yeah,
then...
show me to your room, Caddy.
Caddy daddy.
Wow. Wow. Glad it wasn't me this time. I'm innocent. I'm innocent this time.
I
Not
told
me.
you I'm sleep deprived.
And he's out of earshot at this point.
I'm just gonna yell back, thank you!
Bye.
Bang bang!
With my gauntlets. I'm not petty at all.
Nope. Not at all. Why don't you go on and head down to my office? I got some I want to discuss with you, just to, clear up timelines and whatnot. Duncan's like,
I don't like that.
Duncan's like, yeah, sure. I mean, makes sense. I was gone for a while, and I show up without it. Yeah, so it makes sense. Deviant's like, I appreciate that. Gives him a pat on the back.
Yeah, the music sounds great, but I can't hear you at all. Oh, there it is.
So that was
Oh no, so they didn't hear the
Pro stream!
Professional streamer.
absolutely professional.
Yep.
That is what we do.
I want to do this for real when I grow up.
Cockney rhyming speak. So I have something. I'm going to butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes!
So I'm going to respond. I'm going to respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
Very second.
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah!
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah. You got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rules less hard, and you all can thank this bard. And you're damn right. I pulled that card, and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
A hand.
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So,
Yeah.
21.
That's fair. Jesus.
Huh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
this little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so, just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you don't
literally
know about.
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
Y'all.
Or multi-classing to tie into your character development. Oh, we lost Bill. Oh, now he's back. To tie into your character development and to tie into the story that's happening that you may or may not have control over. Like, the stuff that happened that made that happen was more...
And that's perfect.
Ever.
I'm completely off the rails. That's amazing. I love it. That's
Hashtag new profile pic. Art.
All right, so
Those are fighting words.
are we showing Dominic to your room or going out for dinner? And
Yeah,
then...
show me to your room, Caddy.
Caddy daddy.
Wow. Wow. Glad it wasn't me this time.
happened?
I'm innocent. I'm innocent this time.
I
Not
told
me.
you I'm sleep deprived.
And he's out of earshot at this point.
I'm just gonna yell back, thank you!
Bye.
Bang bang!
With my gauntlets. I'm not petty at all.
Nope. Not at all. Why don't you go on and head down to my office? I got some I want to discuss with you, just to, clear up timelines and whatnot. Duncan's like,
I don't like that.
Duncan's like, yeah, sure. I mean, makes sense. I was gone for a while, and I show up without it. Yeah, so it makes sense. Deviant's like, I appreciate that. Gives him a pat on the back.
Yeah, the music sounds great, but I can't hear you at all. Oh, there it is.
So that was
Oh no, so they didn't hear the
professional streamer.
Absolutely professional.
Yep.
That is what we do.
I want to do this for real when I grow up.
Cockney rhyming speak, so I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
so I'm going to respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
Very second.
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah!
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah. You got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rolls less hard, and you all can thank this bard, and you're damn right. I pulled that card and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
A hand.
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So,
Yeah.
21.
That's fair.
Jesus.
Huh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
this little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so, just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you
literally
don't know
right.
about.
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
Y'all.
Or multi-classing to tie into your character development. Oh, we lost Bill. Oh, now he's back. To tie into your character development and to tie into the story that's happening that you may or may not have control over. Like, the stuff that happened that made that happen was more...
And that's perfect.
Ever.
completely off the rails. That's amazing. I love it. That's
Hashtag new profile pic. Art.
Alright, so,
Those are fighting words.
are we showing Dominic to your room or going out for dinner? And
Yeah,
then...
show me to your room, Caddy.
Caddy daddy.
Wow. And we're back.
Can we get off the
I'm not playing black.
Hey! Welcome back. Sorry that took a little bit longer, but, you know, we wanted to make sure you
Actually-
guys really had your theories crafted. So, hope everybody got a snack, got a drink, stretched your legs, went potty. Make sure you go potty before we leave.
very important.
Things
So far,
I
I
say,
think,
things I say as a parent every day. Make sure you go
Well,
potty
I-
before we go. Do you have to go
I think
potty?
the chat's onto something. I think it's the Muffin Man.
Wait, do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
She's married to the Muffin Man.
She's
Looking
married to
great,
the
eh?
Muffin Man!
That was pretty good.
The best part about that whole scene, before we get into it, the best part about that whole scene is when the king or whatever, the lord, is like, "I'm not the monster you are," and the gingerbread man goes, "Eat me!" and spits at him.
Yeah.
That kills me every
Not
time.
my gumdrop buttons.
Not my gumdrop
The whole
buttons.
scene is brilliant.
I'm
Also,
not the
PS,
monster
go
you
watch-
are.
Go watch Shrek. Just
Yes.
go do it.
Just go do it. Holds up. All right. So we are back, and here we are. Okay. So the party splits again. So Kira and Morag, you go off to the governor's mansion. You know, you've been in the city long enough to know where it is. You don't need to ask for directions or anything. Flynn, with your 19 passive perception, you're kind of walking around, eavesdropping a bit. You do hear a couple people talking to one of the guards as the garrison troops is taking down notes about some weird guys in robes that kind of were in the back of the crowd, kind of hovering and giving off a weird vibe.
I'm gonna stop in my tracks and walk over to them.
Okay. So as you get closer, give me an active perception check.
Okay. Ooh, that can't be good. I mean, it's not bad. It's 13.
You walk up. I mean, they seem to be just having a conversation. You know, the two people that are talking definitely seem a little nervous. Like they're still kind of a little antsy about everything that happened just like 5 minutes ago. But they seem to be of mind enough to be kind of, not making stuff up is what you get the feeling. They're probably not making stuff up is what you're getting.
Okay.
So as you get closer, you see the two people and they're like, it just was weird. Like we didn't see anything. We didn't see him do anything because we weren't like sitting there staring at him, but it was definitely like weird vibes. And the guard's like, okay, yep, any suspicious activity, we definitely appreciate you letting us know about it. And just keep making notes.
I'm just curious. So, what were the robes? What did they look like? Were they completely hooded? What else can you tell us about it?
Yeah. So, and the person that's talking is a human man.
I'm gonna walk up and show my badge.
I'm official. Human man, like later middle-aged. You get the feeling. And he says, we were sitting there, and he gestures to the person with him. He said, we were sitting there, and, we were sitting in the back because we got here kind of late, but a group of people came in behind us. And, you turn around, you say hello, and, happy, hope you enjoy, celebration or anything like that. Didn't get a real good look at face or anything like that, but the robes, they didn't go full body. They weren't like full body robes or anything like that. They kind of more went like down to like your knees kind of thing. It was kind of like a poncho-ish kind of thing. But the hoods were like up to the point where we really couldn't see their face. And like I said, like I told the guard, I obviously didn't sit there and like stare at them or anything because that's, rude. And like I was telling the guard, like, it was right around when the statues came up, right? And the compatriot, who's an elderly elven woman, is like, oh yes, it was right about when the moving statues came up. And he's like, yeah. Like, we got this like weird, like I could sense anything, but it was like a weird vibe that we got.
Yeah. I mean,
and then
important.
and then, everything went crazy, and, we were just kind of like, oh my god, what's going on? Seeing this giant boulder fly past us. And then as the boulder, kind of flew past us, I turned around to, make sure, they were weird, but I wanted to make sure they were okay, and they were gone, so.
Question, how many were there?
He turns to his compatriot, he's like, there were 4, right? She's like, yes, 4 or 5. it was hard to, it's hard to remember with all the chaos of everything that was going on. But I believe there were 4 or 5. He's like, yeah,
Just the facts, man.
Yeah, just the facts. He's like, yeah, there's about 4 or 5 of them.
Did you give your contact information to the guards in case they have more questions?
Yeah, absolutely. That was the, kind of like the first thing I did. Is like, I'll try
Absolutely.
to, if I remember anything else, I'd let you guys know. And the guard says, yes, anything,
I'm so
anything
glad.
anything to kind of, tie up any loose ends. This horrific incident would be.
Are you
very
both
much
okay?
appreciated. Yeah. We were lucky that the boulder was, flung like, to the side of us, and we were in the back, so we didn't have to worry about anything attacking us, luckily.
Okay.
Just more spooked than anything, but yeah.
So, 2 more questions for you. That's all I've got. Now let's let you go about your business. And if you have any more questions, indicating to the guard.
Yeah. And he's writing
first,
down what the answers that they're giving you too. So.
Awesome. Where were you exactly, and where were they in comparison to you, as far as where the parade is happening when everything went chaos?
All right. So he thinks for a moment, and he kind of turns to his picture. He's like, "Well, we weren't too far from here, right?" And she's like, "No, we were no, we weren't. We were just maybe a little bit further up." Checking something here. Okay. Yeah, maybe a little bit further up, and they kind of take 4 or 5 steps forward from where they were. It was like, yes, we were about
doing
here.
like a Columbo thing here, like just tell me exactly where it was. Pretend I don't know anything.
Kind of, yeah, essentially. So where the and then he says, and then he kind of takes the guard's like, he's like, and the gentlemen were about here. He puts them about 2 or 3 steps behind them. The guard's like, what are you doing? I'm not a prop. And
yes, and
I'm just gonna kind of elbow Jen. I like these guys.
Yeah. And they say, and give either both
Can I
of you
take insight? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say either both of you can do perception, or one can do it with advantage.
Oh, one can do it.
Okay. Am I doing with
So
advantage?
when we're done, I would like to check insight just to see if for some reason they're being too overly genuine.
Am I?
You do it with help, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Nat 20. I mean, do I roll again?
Yeah, just in case.
I mean,
no, don't, because you don't want to use them.
Yeah.
You don't want to roll a 19 down.
29.
By the power of Grayskull.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah, so you stand where they are, and you look about to, because, the event just happened, and your mind is like a steel trap. So you put that between where you are and where the statues stopped when the battle started. It was about 90 feet. So turning around, the people were probably about, the robed figures are probably about 90 to 95 feet away, 95 to 100 feet away from where the attack, when the moving statues came to life.
Okay. In addition to that, which way were they facing? Were they all facing the same direction, and where was that?
Well, when they walked up and I said, hello, good day, they were all kind of standing there. Well, now that you mention it, I feel like they were looking down to where the parade was marching from. So he points to the left of where he's looking, which was, the way, from your perspective, that was the way that the parade was coming. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna look right over at Jen and bastards. Okay.
Right, and insight?
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you guys move on, did they mention what color the robes were, or did I just miss it?
I asked what they looked like, kind of.
They were brown, tan.
Very plain.
Okay.
Not very
Very plain.
remarkable. I was gonna say not remarkable.
Oh yeah, that's right. They were more like poncho-esque because they only went up down to
the
knee.
knees. Yeah,
Yeah.
It wasn't actually yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
and-
also, my question when you said that is that like uncommon? Is that why they mentioned that? Or is that just a style of robe?
And he said, and the gentleman says, well, I mean, on its own, I wouldn't have thought anything of it, but the fact that all of these gentlemen, and there are 4 or 5 of them. Yes, dear, 4 or 5. Yes, yeah. For the fact that all of them were in the exact same robe, either they all like the same shop or they're in some kind of group or something. I don't know.
16 on the insight.
He seems genuine, anxious to do his part, I guess is how I would put it. So
I'm gonna just kind of, as I'm turning away, say thank you so much, and I'm like turning away. I'm gonna kind of lean into the guard and say, can we get somebody over to where they're talking about and just check the alleyways all the way around there to see if maybe people ditch these ropes?
And the guard says, yeah, that's a good point. I'll grab a couple of the guys. We'll go check some of these alleyways. And he turns to the 2 and he says, thank you for your time.
That's what I would do.
No, that's a very good observation. He turns to the 2 and says, thank you for your time. Yes, we have your contact information should we have any follow-ups. But obviously, if something comes to mind on your, later today or tomorrow, whenever, please stop by the garrison and, please relay that information. The guy says, yeah, no, we absolutely will. And thank you guys for doing your best to help keep us safe. This was crazy. She says, yes, it was very bizarre. And they walk off, and the guard says, yeah, I'm going to go grab a couple guys. We're going to go search the alleyway, see if we can, see if anything pops up. And he walks away. Clancy!
Ooh.
I need you to give me a charisma check. As you walk up to this crowd of people that seems, there's an uneasy air to them, feeling a little bit, what just happened? Is everyone okay? Am I okay? What is going on? Are we in danger? Are we getting attacked? Very jittery.
So 22 total.
What do you say to the crowd?
Alright, so Clancy's gonna look at everyone. Alright, folks, I know everything's kind of confusing right now, but we're figuring everything out. The things are dead, if they can be dead. So
if they can be dead, what does that mean?
Well, they weren't alive to begin with. There was some magic that was used on them. The magic's gone. The magic's been defeated.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I thought we were gonna have zombies. So someone say zombies?
Yeah. You got a news report over there. So you're saying magic was the problem?
And the other guy's like, no, they were statues, not zombies, you idiot. Oh yeah. Whew. Oh, yeah.
So all statues are dangerous.
Sorry, finish up your speech.
Yeah, so he's saying that, he's like, everything's fine, everyone, if you can, just go back home, and we're gonna figure this out. That everyone in the town guard is trying to figure it out, and you're safe right now, and that's what matters. So just try to move on the best you can.
And get some food.
And yeah, I mean, if you're hungry, as these halflings tend to be, you can go get some food too.
All right,
all the halflings.
Yay, food!
Yeah, and so you notice the crowd kind of be like, all right, yeah, he's right. No, he's right. They stopped, so everything's fine. Yeah. I feel a lot better. Yeah, I feel a lot. Oh, I actually am hungry. Yeah, let's go get some food. Okay, yeah, and then they walk off. Clancy, give yourself a hero point for that inspirational speech.
Awesome. I haven't even used it. I just keep gaining them. I haven't even used them.
Hey, pull them till you get to 10. Yeah, pull them till you get to 10, and then you can do one huge thing. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so Clancy, Flynn, and Jen. Is there anything else you guys are doing at the moment? Before we cut to the other party.
Okay. At this point, I'm just gonna discuss everything we just heard and go through this. It's like that had to have been them. It had to have been them. And who were they? Why were they robed? And where did they come from? And that's some pretty weird robes. Who only wears robes up to their knees?
Well, regardless of their fashion, it definitely sounds like they're the ones that were involved I mean, you don't just stand there looking suspicious and then disappear and have a catastrophe happen without, gaining some eyes on you, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty odd. I'm willing to bet you. That's why I said that to the guard. I bet they're going to find those robes tucked away some, and then they just disappeared into the crowd. We got to figure out who these people are.
All right. So, while you guys are having that conversation, unraveling what you have with this new information, Morag and Kira, you make your way to the governor's estate. I forget where that is in location. Oh yeah, so you have to walk past. Okay, so you're walking past the. You have to walk past the garrison, which you see bustling with activity at this point. Soldiers coming in and out. People sitting there, kind of relaying relaying information. Walking to the governor's estate is pretty chaotic. So you make your way past there, and you come up to the gates. It's a big iron gate that at this point is open into a small courtyard that's got various shaped shrubberies and stuff like that. Very well trimmed, very well maintained, and you come up to this beautiful think like a really big colonial house with big alabaster pillars up front, multiple stories, just beautiful architecture. And you see Governor Strong at this point kind of sitting outside the front door, because there's a 3 or 4 step porch up to where the front door is. He's kind of standing up there, and that gnome who you now have gathered is his aide, kind of sitting there, standing there next to him, taking down notes and stuff. And in front of him is a crowd of 5 or 6 people. You recognize a couple people from the Starhel Chronicle there, and people in finer garb, which you're assuming would be shop owners, store owners, stuff like that. And you hear them kind of all murmuring and kind of not full-on shouting at this point, but definitely talking loudly as you and so as you walk up, you hear Governor Strong say, please, we are still at the gathering information stage. I have no information about why this happened, who perpetrated this awful incident, or anything like that. What I know is that our garrison commander, Icewind, has been on site handling the situation, assessing the damage, making sure the fine people of Furon are taken care of, and we are in the process of reaching out to family members of those that may have been harmed about what is happening. I will set something up for later this afternoon once I hear back from Commander Icewind and the rest of the garrison. Best I could tell you at this point is the incident. The monsters have been defeated. The monsters that caused this horrific event have been defeated, and we're in the midst of cleaning up and doing our best to make sure that people are safe and that our beautiful city is secure. So, no more questions at this time. And I will set something up for later this afternoon or first thing in the morning once I've had a chance to speak with Commander Icewind. So, good day. And he turns around and goes in, and you see some of the store owners kind of looking like, that's the best he could give us. That's absolute shit. What's gonna happen if it's my store that's attacked next? And you just see some of the Starhel Chronicle reporters just scribbling notes down furiously.
Shall we?
I suppose so. So we just go and join the others.
Oh, I was gonna skirt around the crowd and
Sneaky,
knock on the door.
sneaky.
Yeah.
Why knock on the door? He's right there.
Or, well, no, because he said he went inside, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was
I
up on the
thought
porch.
it was that he's going inside.
I'm gonna go knock on his forehead.
Well, I mean, we came here to talk to him.
All right,
And
let's go.
I would hope that as members of the garrison or whatever, we might get a little bit more information, or at least find out where he was, where his aide was.
What can you
if
tell
he
me,
saw anything
Governor
from where
Strong?
they were.
If that is your real name.
Dun, dun, dun.
Just the facts, man. Yeah, so you see,
He was automatically suspicious of anyone in authority, so.
So yeah, so you guys make your way, like, kind of through the crowd. You see the young elven woman that interviewed you earlier. She's sitting there furiously scribbling notes, sweating a little bit. Oh man, 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 oh man.
Scattered broken pencils all around the ground around her.
I envision like smoke swirling up from her notepad.
Yeah. And she like looks up and sees you and goes, Did you guys?
Yes.
Great! Oh man! Is it okay if I... And she kind of walks over, like looking around, she walks over to you guys like, is it okay if I say that a bunch of nobodies helped out? Is that okay?
Nobody's.
That's perfect.
That actually, that would be great.
Great! Oh man! First interview you guys, which is my first big interview, and this happens? Oh man! This reporting job is way scarier than I thought it'd be!
Try not to look so excited though.
Okay.
Just a little.
Right.
Okay.
We understand it's a sort of mixed excitement, but maybe just lower it down a little bit.
Okay.
Take it down a notch.
Deep breath.
All right.
What information did you get from the governor just now?
Oh yeah. She flips back a couple pages. So he started off by saying that he was earlier this morning, the city was attacked. Property was damaged and lives were lost. But the brave people of the garrison command and a bunch of nobodies saved the day. And they are currently looking into what happened and how it happened. And that was really kind of it. So I was gonna try to like ask a question, but then I got really nervous and I didn't. So I'm still working on that. This is my first like live news conference thing. Whew.
You could
working
maybe
for it.
try tomorrow. It sounds like you might be having another one of these gatherings.
Yeah. No, I'm like I'm making notes, and I'm like I might even go and camp out here tonight. I might like actually do that because that I don't want to miss anything. Should I do that? That sounds like a bad idea when I say it out loud.
Sounds a bit excessive.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
go
just
home, get some rest.
Okay.
And
all
wake
right.
up.
Yeah.
Wake up a little bit earlier.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That
Black
is-
Friday
that
was started
is-
in Furon.
That actually sounds a lot better than what I was gonna do, because what I was gonna do sounds a little crazy. So yeah. Okay.
Rest.
You guys are
good
heroes.
Sounds
You guys are heroes.
good. We will see
Thanks.
you later. I hope everything works
Yeah.
out. And I just sort of like skirt around her.
Yeah. And then you see her.
Kira's just
Want
gonna
some
reach
food?
up and put a hand on her like, hand where the notebook is.
Yeah.
And just say,
Needs to turn my head.
here's a piece of advice
Yeah.
from
Hold on, I gotta write this down. Okay.
it's okay. Go get a snack.
Go.
It makes everything
a
better.
snack. Yeah, I didn't eat again. I did that thing where I got too excited and I didn't eat.
Just start stuffing snacks in your pockets. Here, yeah.
And she
Kira's gonna
and she
pull out
starts.
one of the waffles from the morning
she starts
start with this.
Oh,
rocking a little bit. She starts rocking a little bit.
Here, snack.
Oh,
Snack first. Yeah.
One bite.
There you go. See?
Wow.
Good girl.
Right?
Wow. That really helped.
You'll make a good halfling yet.
Wow. Okay.
From a halfling, here you go.
Oh.
Advice, snacks, make everything better.
Snacks make everything better. Okay. I should put that on a robe. I feel like that'd be really
Go
cool.
for it.
Okay. Thank you. And good job saving the city again.
Thanks.
And she like
And
walks
then I
off.
follow.
Yeah, and she walks off.
We have a fan girl.
Slightly.
As you get to the door, there's a couple garrison guards, garrison troops kind of standing by the door. With
GG's.
long halberds. Standing guard.
I flash them.
The
With my badge, of
badge.
course.
Like, they look at it and they go, alright.
Kira's
And they,
gonna do the same thing.
Okay, I'm done. Bye.
I'm gonna like look at Kira and just be like,
that joke is so
"A lot
old it can
easier than I
vote.
thought."
These things are handy.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah, because I mean, you see, like, I mean, obviously on your badge is the same crest that is on the soldier, so you know it's fairly legit. Yeah, so I say he opens the door up into this beautiful foyer with the double staircase leading up to a second floor that's curved. You do see an attendant kind of standing by the door, and it's an elderly elven man, and he looks at you and says, "Good day. Will you be needing to see the governor at this time?"
Yes, please, if he's available.
"I will go check on him. He is still rattled from this horrible incident from this morning, but I shall go check to see if he will be able to speak with members of the garrison. So, excuse me." And he turns around and, goes into, opens up a door and disappears into a room.
Kira's gonna lean over to Morag and say, I already don't like him.
I'm just gonna, as he said, Governor Strong was shaken from this morning, I'm just gonna kind of look down at myself and the fact that I'm still, a bloody mess.
Covered in blood.
Technically,
Yeah.
I am literally still battered,
Yeah.
half my, actually, I still have less than half my HP.
No rest for the weary.
No. I'm just gonna look at her, look at Kira and be like, I agree, but also, what kind of excuse does this governor have? I look like shit.
I know, and his name's supposed to be Strong. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Alright, so as you guys have this conversation, what's your guys' passive perception?
13.
16.
16. So Kira, you notice at the top of the stairs, kind of poking his head through a couple of the banister pulls is a small human child. And he's just like staring in awe at you guys.
Does he look like the governor?
Yeah, there is a striking resemblance.
Look at that, he's already ready for
some
prison.
flowers painted on the wall.
Kira's going to wink at him. I don't know if he'll be able to see from that far away. She's gonna wink at him, and then she's gonna take out one of her daggers and start flipping it, doing trick flips and walking it across her fingers and.
Wow. He's he's mesmerized. Just mesmerized. And
Morag, not understanding what is going on, she's gonna look at Kira and go, "You've really got to stop fidgeting with your knives."
It's a problem, I recognize that, but we've got a bit of an audience, and she's gonna nod up towards the kid.
Oh,
and he's gonna wave slowly.
All right, at that point, all right, it's on. I want to do a trick.
All right.
Oh god.
I'm gonna remove my hand.
I knew
The
it.
kid's like,
But
He
it's gonna
goes
be in
from-
a cool
he
way,
goes from-
so imagine.
to,
Imagine. So I'm gonna take off my gauntlet. Wrong hand. I'm gonna take off my gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
when the gloves
And
come
it's
off.
gonna show like there's some shine to it still. It's not covered in blood because it was covered.
Yeah.
And it's going to basically look like it's melting away, but like in like a shingy kind of metal form.
Shing shing?
Yeah.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look
Yeah.
at my nub.
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
So the kid sees you do this, and he looks at his hand, and it just.
Very disappointed.
Oh, poor kid.
And then you see somebody that's, you know, in a black dress with like an apron on come from a side hallway and be like, get, and he's like, hee, and runs off.
Alright.
So at this
I
point,
realize in my head he just looks like Toby.
I was picturing Toby too.
no, because the problem is the kid didn't like punch the maid and then run off. So,
Fair enough.
so
Good to know.
kids are great. So at this point, the elven attendant comes back in and he says, he will be able to. Governor Strong will be able to speak with you at this time if you would follow me.
Perfect.
And you guys walk in, and he said, you know, as you get to the door, he says, will either one of you be needing any kind of refreshment at this time?
I could use a snack.
Water would be fantastic right now.
And he kind of looks like behind you, Morag. Will you also be needing any kind of healing or medical attention? And you turn around and there's like a small trail of blood behind you.
Right, about that, if you could provide anything helpful, that would be great. I've lost
So
a wee
much
bit
blood.
today.
So much blood.
If you could, yes. In short, yes.
And indeed, so I will bring down some refreshments and get a healer over immediately.
Thank you.
And he walks off. And he gestures you into the room. You open the door. You walk in to this large office. Rows of books as high as the ceiling, which is like 8-9 feet tall. Large oak desk. With a window that kind of overlooks the side of the house, which is where like a courtyard is. And you see him sit, and you see Governor Strong, who's tall, fairly well built, raven black hair, sitting there, writing down on a piece of paper. And he looks up and he says, "Can I help? By the gods, ma'am, are you all right?"
Fine.
Oh, please.
How are you?
Tired of people asking you that yet?
Well, to be fair, you are standing in a pool of blood, so I just wanted to, make sure.
Right. Sorry about your carpet.
Don't worry about that. I'm more worried about you at this point. Please, come sit. And he gestures to a couple chairs.
Well, no, I don't want to bleed on your chair as well. I'll just stay right here where there's already blood. If you don't mind to just answer a few questions that we've got from today. I know you've been talking to the press, but We just need a little bit more information if possible.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Are you with the garrison, I'm assuming?
Right.
Okay, yes, excellent. Yes, feel free to ask away. I mean, I was with Commander Icewind going over the logistics for the rest of the day when when this tragedy happened, so I'm afraid I can only, talk to what Commander Icewind told me what happened, but I can certainly give everything I can.
Is it just him in the room?
Yeah.
At this point, yeah.
In there.
Yeah, it's just him at this point. But at this, after this little bit of conversation, you see coming in two gnomes. One short gnome carrying like a tray that has a flume of water. Crap, that's the one. Of water. I couldn't think of the word. I don't know fancy terms. I almost said colander, which I'm like, no, that's strange noodles.
Said carrying water.
I wanted to be fancy.
Okay.
Pitcher of water.
Yeah, pitcher of water. There we go. Carrying a pitcher of water and a tray of sliced meats and some fruit. And then
you got the good snacks.
And then behind them comes the gnomish aide that was there for you earlier. Let me pull something up here real quick.
We're starting to get suspicious about all these gnome servants.
Right.
Why are all of the short people in positions of
What do you?
Why are all these short people in Furon?
Exactly.
There's two. Remember, there is a gnome business owner.
I haven't seen too many other gnomes.
There's the gnome business owner. She owns the stables outside.
Was there?
Yeah, she was a gnome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you mean Edna Mode?
Yeah. Yeah, with her big glasses. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'd have to find my other notebook to find.
Yeah. So screw you guys for that, in particular.
Okay, fine. All right. Apologies.
I don't apologize.
All right. So the gnome, the gnome, assistant walks up to you and says, "Oh my, you look terrible. Here, let me help you out with that."
That's just what a woman wants to hear.
Well, if I was bleeding all over the place like you were, I would be expected to be told I look terrible too. So,
I mean, that is like
make me feel better.
Time you've been told that in the last 5 minutes.
Listen, I know what I look like. I don't need a mirror to see my hands and see the blood.
Right. Sorry. I'm working on my people skills. Sorry.
Work on your bedside manner.
So he's gonna cast Cure Wounds. So that gets extra.
Adam, I am married.
13, extra 22 points of healing back to you.
Ooh.
Oh, heck yeah. Woo! I am looking hot.
Yeah. Yeah, so so all your wounds basically clear up. You got some pretty sweet scars.
Not all of them, but most.
But pretty much most of them, but you still got some sweet scars. You still have some bruising and whatnot. But no more blood is dripping, and you got some sweet ass scars.
Ass scars.
Sweet ass scars. What is wrong with you? You have
Lots
a problem.
Of things,
you
man.
have a problem.
Lots of things. I
You're
do.
just now
Not the gumdrops!
Not the gumdrop platinum I'm not the monster you are.
Eat me.
Yeah, dude. I gotta mute.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I just did that thing where you think of something funny and you laugh, and then you think of something else that's funny that's not related at all, and then that makes you laugh too. That's what just happened to me. And I'd
So
say
it wasn't me being funny. Okay.
you started the funny, and then I made myself laugh.
What he means is you look funny.
I'll show you guys.
Oh, that almost came out my nose.
When we're done with the stream, I'll show you what I thought of that made me laugh.
Okay.
Now
All
I'm
right. So
scared.
wait, the gnome that was healing her is the gnome aide.
Yes.
I want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so you're healed up. You're good. The gnome with the snacks, drops it off. Drops it off and says, "Will you be needing anything, Governor Strong?" He says, "No, thank you, though." And they, make their way out, and then you see a couple other like maids and stuff come in and start cleaning up the blood.
You couldn't leave that for. Okay, fine.
Well, you can't let it stain.
It was true, but it's not like we're having kind of an important conversation. I don't.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
true.
and Governor Strong goes, yes. Leave that. That's not important right now. Leave that. You can take care of that later. And they said, okay.
You've got
And
a
they walk
sorcerer.
out.
I'm sure he's got something he can use to. Anyway,
Pressed is something.
this is the
Pressed
thing,
is something.
I'm sure
I
he's
knew
got
someone that had it.
impressive skills.
Yep.
And
so they all right. So they close the door behind, and Governor Strong kind of stands up behind the desk and says, "So what questions do you have? How can I try to help?"
Did the aid leave as well?
Yeah, everyone's got it.
sending?
Just the three
Okay.
of you.
Do you have sending?
Well, a few questions to do with the Inventors Guild and getting the statues down here.
Yeah.
You should get it.
Yes.
At least from my point of view, is what I would like to know as someone who is in the Inventors Guild. But I just, who were your points of contact for these statues to come?
And he thinks for a moment and he says, "Well, because this was something that was a national event, all of the governors that wanted to have the Inventors Guild show off their skills and wonderful inventions. We worked through we worked with Mr. What was his name? Round Rock. Tilbart Roundrock. I believe he's the head of the Inventors Guild. He's the guild master.
I was gonna say, is that a recognition
Gilbert about
on there?
this?
He
Did
was
he plan all of this?
he was the one that we ran this idea through, and he was the one that helped submit provide applicants for all of the different cities. I believe only like 4 or 5 cities besides us actually took them up on their offer.
What cities do you know?
And he thinks for a moment. He's like, well, I definitely know Boros was one of the cities that wanted it. We were Waynon. Obviously Waynon would be important, it being, the capital. Osing was another one. He's like, he sits there and he thinks. He's like, I'm trying to. Oh yes. Oh yeah. The last one was Pastrinos because they wanted to. Pastrinos specifically wanted to celebrate the whole, man-made invention and magical abilities combined can make the world a better place. So that was kind of a theme they were going for.
Do you know if they were all like the same idea of these moving statues, or were they all other kinds of inventions or
They were
whatnot?
They were mostly just the moving statues.
Okay.
Because that was one thing that a lot of the guilds, or a lot of the guild members, not all of them, because some of them, I gathered, tend to stick to their own projects, but a lot of guild members had come together to kind of work on these projects.
Okay, so you said Osing, Boro, Thuron...
Boros.
Boros, sorry?
Boros. Yeah, Boros, Osing, us here, Waynon, and Pastrinos.
Pastrinos.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
5, yes.
So have you heard any words from the other cities, or have their parades taken place yet?
I know that Commander Icewind was going to head back to his office and reach out, because all garrison commanders have access to a sending stone that allows them to stay in communication with each other, without having to worry about sending messengers or carrier pigeons. It's meant to only be used in extreme circumstances, so... I
think this is a pretty extreme circumstance.
I would believe so. So what I gathered was that after Commander Icewind came and where the hell did my pen go? That's annoying.
I ate it.
That's rude. Please don't do that.
No.
So he said,
"You want my mermaid one?"
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, anytime.
Oh, it's out of ink. Here.
Oh, thanks.
Yep, no problem. So he said he was going to check in with them and then check back in with me sometime this afternoon, after he had coordinated with them and figured out, what had happened where. So I just really hope that this is gonna, in a way, sound terrible, but for those other cities' sake, I really hope we were the worst, because if anything happened worse than what we had to any of those other cities, I can't imagine what those governors are going through.
I agree.
Did you guys ask how many we lost? Did they know yet?
We haven't asked yet.
Yeah. I might not even know yet. I feel like it just happened.
Yeah.
Fox them.
Yeah. Do you have any more questions, Morag?
Has Tilbert been informed about this yet? Has anyone thought to reach out to him?
That was after I had a full report on everything that was going on, that had happened, after speaking with Commander Icewind this afternoon. I was going to head over to his office and send something over there, because obviously he would need to, Mr. Roundrock would need to know what was going on, if he hasn't figured out what's going on at this point already. So
makes sense.
Since he's not been informed yet, would you care to mention my name and just say that I am in Furon, where all of this happened?
Sure. And you are?
Morag Drummond.
Morag. Okay. He takes a piece of paper off his desk and writes it down. Yeah, I can absolutely pass that along. By the way, based on your injuries, did you help defeat those monstrosities?
Yes, that's why I was covered in blood.
Well,
It's all mine.
It is all mine.
Well,
I hope they didn't have blood.
Well, I would like to say that I'm terribly sorry for everything that happened to you, but I thank you for helping out the people like you did. When Commander Icewind came back after he assessed the situation, he told me that there were some guards that were missing because they had run away. I admit we got into a bit of a heated discussion about the quality of troops he had. But the fact that you folks, you two, stepped up and helped out I sincerely thank you.
There's a few of us, but
well,
yeah,
thank you and your compatriots.
We'll pass it along. There were, definitely, I would say, a few guards that were a bit lacking, but there were also some that stepped up and definitely pulled their weight. There was a sergeant in particular, I think something axe, battle axe, bitter axe, I don't remember. So you should keep an eye on him. I did have. Keep
Makes
an eye
a
on
note
it
of that.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, I
It was
mean, based on what happened
above and
today,
beyond.
yeah, based on what happened today, we need to value and appreciate those who stepped up in the face of adversity. So he takes out the same piece of paper they wrote your name down on and, makes a note.
Head of training program.
Yeah. I did have a couple of other questions. So you said you were talking with Commander Icewind, but was it at the beginning of the parade or the end of the parade?
It was the beginning. So we we were there up front to watch everybody and everything make their way out the first time.
Did you see anyone that looked off at all? Anyone? Oh, I'm trying to think. Anyone that looked out of place?
While you're looking that up, that was absolutely perfect timing because right then the music made this sound like something groaning in the background, like a monster or something. That was like perfect timing.
Thank you. Today's music, brought to you by Tabletop Audio, is called Rolling Emporium.
Ooh.
TabletopAudio.com. Check them out.
While she is asking questions, can I do an Arcana check?
Sure, of course you can. What are you looking for?
Arcana.
Well,
just any sort of like magical presence in the room, like just a general Arcana check, honestly. Like, I'm not necessarily looking for anything specific, but more so just the current presence of magic.
You are being really dodgy about this.
Yes.
Because she's thinking of how she answers questions.
Yes.
All right. So I will. All right. So I'll ask her. See if you can narrow down specifically what you're looking for.
I would like to know if he is magic.
Okay. That's you. So you're doing an Arcana check on him to see if he is magic.
Yes. Hopefully.
Okay. All right.
Uses magic or has magic things.
Kira's question: did you notice anything suspicious? He thinks for a moment and he goes, "Well, no, I didn't notice anything out of place or abnormal. Of course, I do have to admit that I was, while making sure I acknowledged and appreciated the people in the parade, I was also making sure I was having a conversation with Icewind about how the rest of the day was going to be planned out. Obviously, we've canceled all those plans, and we will reevaluate on a kind of even day-by-day thing. But no, I did not notice anything out of the ordinary while we were watching.
Can I roll an insight?
Sure. All right, Miss Arcana making weird faces over there. That's either a 20 or a 1.
Nat 20! Woo!
Oh my God.
I rolled it and I was like, I only have a +2 to Arcana. Why am I doing this? Nat 20.
You see nothing. No magical presence about him whatsoever. And on a nat 20, you kind of scan the rest of the room too.
Thank you, yeah.
No, nothing really.
The rug is actually a mimic. It's been drinking the blood that you've been pooling on it.
Oh no, that's my blood.
No, it's a rug of smothering and it jumps up and just wraps around you.
Yeah. I know. No,
it's actually just a portable hole that's flipped over.
Maybe it's a flying carpet.
Yeah, but no, nat 20, you detect no magical presence about him or the room at all. Just a normal guy in a normal room.
Not helpful.
I'm sad. Can we
your face is frozen on a great face. You are a robot now. Nope, and you're back.
Me?
No, she was.
No.
Oh.
Yay.
The one who always has
probably
it.
me. I always assume that it's me.
It's me. Hi.
Yeah,
I'm the lagger. It's me.
I
All right, so 9.
9.
And you're just checking to
That
see if
dice
he
is
was
going away, by the way.
Bye dice. You're just checking to see
That's
if he was...
jail.
See if he's being honest about not seeing anything suspicious.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't seem dodgy. I mean, he's speaking in politician talk, which means he's long-winding stuff, but, you know, he's being honest with his words, even if there's more of them than what you need.
Alright. Was your aide there with you?
Yes.
The guy who healed Morag?
Yes.
What's his name?
Stop,
the lag.
stop, I'm lagging!
What was the name of
like a really long burp for some reason. That's what.
Yeah. What was the name of that guard we talked to in the alleyway? You know?
Yeah. He says, Pover. Yes, Pover.
Pover.
He's been
Polver?
Povur. Pover.
Povur. Okay.
Said yeah, he's kind of lack of a better way to put it, he's kind of an institution. He's served almost every governor that's been elected into office, so he's
since the revolution.
Well, yeah, a little bit after the revolution when we started establishing the local governments. But yeah, it's not the friendliest guy in the world.
He didn't seem like much of a people person.
But he's, you know, obviously very, very good at, you know, magic, and he's a great scribe. So.
And he didn't see anything unusual either.
I mean, Icewind asked both of us, and we both told him. I mean, because I was focused on my conversation with Icewind, and he was focused on taking notes on the conversation we were having. So.
Could we get a copy of those notes?
I don't see why not. We didn't talk about, you know, anything. I said we were just talking about the events for the rest of the day, so the rest of the day and the day after. So yeah, absolutely.
It might be, if he's good at magic, it might be worthwhile having him go have a look at the constructs and the wagons and such and see if he can find anything that we didn't. One of our compatriots is a magic user as well and didn't really see anything, but I feel like it's one of those instances that more eyes are better than fewer or something.
That's I can absolutely do that. Yes, I will. If you guys are, I'm not sure if you folks are heading back there or not, but if you are, he can absolutely accompany you. No. Not a problem.
Perfect.
We could, either there or we might want to stop in. Well, I guess we got to gather a rest before we head over back to the garrison.
Right.
All right.
I'm sure Flynn's going to be excited to tell them, but I do want to make sure we would be telling them everything we heard about the robed people.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you have anything else that you wanted to discuss?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think. Oh, by the way, it's a bit off topic, but we sort of met one of your kids, I think. Cute kid.
Thomas, yes.
Smart.
He's
very average kid.
Thomas is a curious soul.
I could tell.
I worry because of how curious he is what this world could, especially after the events of today, about what this world could do to a curious soul like that, but I love him and I'll support him in whatever he does.
Well, curious souls need direction. So, if he's curious, give him something to do. Keep his hands busy.
Oh, we do that every day.
He liked more eggs.
Speaking of hands, if he accidentally, if you catch him looking at his hand, and trying to pull it off. I apologize.
You might want to keep like shop objects away from him. At least for a few days.
We do anyway. But now we're gonna doubly be sure.
And
he's looking at you very strangely.
I take my glove off and I do the same thing to him that I did to his son.
Yep. Yeah, he was very excited about. He was hoping to talk to one of the artificers after the parade because he was very curious. So
I would love to talk to him if he wants.
Oh, I would maybe at a later time today. I don't want him to have to worry about what happened out there because luckily he and the family were where we were, away from everything. So kind of
good.
Want to. I
kind
of want to just
covered in blood.
Yeah, and I just kind of want to like hug him a little extra more today. So
that's fair.
Totally understandable.
Yeah, but I appreciate the offer, and I know when it gets to that point, he would be ecstatic. So.
Anytime.
Yeah. So
right, well,
I guess. And he leans over to you and he says, "Winston." And the tall elven man, he says, "Yes, Governor Strong."
Yes.
He says, "Winston, can you go get Pover and let him know that he'll be accompanying these fine folks to the where the incident happened to provide some insight and assistance?" He says, "Of course. You know he won't be exactly ecstatic about that. Well, it's for helping out the people and helping out the city, so he's gonna have to do it. I will inform him right away." And walks out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even.
So it says, "Well, if there's anything else, if there's any other questions I can help with, after I connect with Icewind later this afternoon, I'll, be speaking with the press and all that, either later today or tomorrow morning, depending upon, what time it is and what information we get. But obviously you and your compatriots are welcome to stop by, especially for, all the help you gave today. So thank you once again."
Well, thanks for your time.
Yep. And you walk your way out, and you see the gnome there. He's sitting in this robe that's dragging a little bit, but this robe is dragging a little bit behind him. He's got a shaved head that has some of those, like, those old man spots that are on the top of it. He's kind of grumpy.
Liver spots?
Yeah, exactly.
No, old man spots.
The old man spots. I didn't know what to call them. That seemed like the best thing.
Specifically old man spots.
Yeah. And he's sitting there, and he kind of looks at you and says, "I'm going with you guys. You're what am I doing? What am I going to be doing?"
Just follow us. And I just walk out the door.
All right. You guys make your way back.
Yep.
And you guys make your way back to the parade ground, where you reunite with your compatriots. Flynn, if you want to fill in Kira and Morag on what you found out.
Absolutely. Yes. So
done. Filled in.
Done.
Filled in.
So we had as I was walking by, I just happened to hear this guard that was talking to some people, and they happened to see these robed figures that came walking up behind them.
Oh, but they weren't robes.
What's that?
They weren't robes. Remember? It was like a poncho.
Yeah, but they were still robes because they were like they were just down to their knees. It only covered to their knees. Who does that?
But it covered
it's like
their faces.
summer monks. I mean, really.
Are we talking like human elf
Human
height
sized,
or
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Maybe they grew and it got too short for them.
But they were acting weird.
I mean, I have experience with that.
Wouldn't you have weird if you had cold ankles?
But it just happened to be that it looked like they were waiting for the parade to come up, and then as soon as it got to a certain point, things happened and they disappeared. They were just being weird that whole time, and it almost seems like they may have cast the magic on the thing and then disappeared.
And there was 4 or 5 of them. How many statues were there? 5 statues, weren't there?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6, yeah.
Yeah,
So it was
but
the 2 big ones.
4 small ones and 2 big ones. Even so, everything was being controlled by the Phoenix.
And
that seemed to be the key.
Well, we don't know.
As you're explaining that, you hear behind Morag and Kira, what color were they? What color were the statues?
Oh, this is Pova. This is the Pova. Terrible.
You just heard my name 10 minutes ago.
I'm terrible with names.
I need you to lower your voice, please.
He's an aide to the governor.
Sorry.
Does he need to be here if he's going to be so rude?
Sorry. Working on my people skills. Sorry.
You look like you need food. I'm going to hand him a waffle.
I don't need food. Get that out of my face.
That's a waffle.
With magic, and we thought that maybe he could have a second pair of eyes after Clancy, and possibly see something that we missed.
All right, so
or else maybe knew a spell that could make constructs move. The constructs were glowing purple. I don't know if that is what you're looking for.
The bodies and the eyes were purple.
Yeah.
And the people inside of them were not affected mentally.
Oh, interesting. And he turns to Clancy, says, "You're the magic guy for this group?"
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. You said they glowed purple. Did they do anything before they came and popped the life? They say anything? Is there any weird noises you heard? Did they do anything weird?
No, it was just kind of all sudden. I mean, they were just regular. I don't even know what to call them because I've never really seen anything like that. But they were moving just normal, and then they started attacking. And I did.
What were they attacking? Were they who or what were they attacking?
The people.
It seemed like
not
they were
the
just there to
threats.
cause chaos and attack the crowd and stuff. They weren't really looking at the people that were necessarily fighting them.
Yeah, because I was beating the crap out of them, and they kept running away from us to go hurt civilians.
Yeah. And he kind of he walks over because the garrison troops had been able to clear away the smaller statues, but the dragon was still. That's obviously going to take a while. So he walks over and kind of looks at the statue or at the just crumbled rubble. That's obviously a little bit of has been cleared away to get Carter's body out of there. So a little bit's been cleared away, and he walks over. He's kind of looking at the boards. He looks over, kind of taps them. So they were doing one thing. They glowed purple. They did one thing, and then how long did they go until they stopped?
Oh, it couldn't have been more than
a minute or two. Yeah.
At most.
We defeated.
It was not very long.
We're not sure if it's because we defeated the Phoenix or because we defeated so many of them. We had about half of them down when they all stopped moving.
Yeah, we had there were 6 of them total. We had 4 of them down. 3 of the small ones and 1 of the big ones.
And also the people inside of the machines said that they could no longer break or pull on any of their controls.
Nah.
And as soon as we took one down, the purple faded away.
Well, in my experience, there's only one spell that can do something like this. I remember it from when I was learning sorcery. He walks up and kind of reaches up and jabs Percy. He's like, I can't believe you didn't know what spell this is. This is like spellcasting 101.
Do you mean Clancy?
Clancy. What did I say again? Did I say Percy?
Percy.
God, who is Percy?
You know what? You look like a Percy. Clancy sounds like a stupid name for you. You look like a Percy.
You know, stop you.
Stupid.
Just for saying that.
Yeah. So, yes. So he jabs you, and he's like, "Yeah, this is like spellcasting 101. That's clearly animate objects. It's a timing spell. So you give a command, you cast a spell on an object, you give it to do it. You do it for a command. It's an instantaneous thing. It only lasts for a very short amount of time, and then either it falls over, it goes back to its original state, or it gets destroyed. That's like
Stop either
101.
way.
That's well, maybe it's a little more advanced than someone who doesn't seem to be as well versed in magic as they think they are would know.
Okay, little man. So
Look
does
who's
that mean they
talking.
would have? Does that mean they would have stopped either way?
Depends on how long they would have wanted it to last. I mean, like I said, it's a spell that normally lasts only like a minute. So, if they wanted to sit there and have it last longer than that, they'd have to keep going. And of course, they'd have to have the magical chutzpah to be able to keep it going.
Chutzpah. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a gnomish term. You should,
Add phlegm.
And bless you. So if they want, you gotta have a certain magical power to be able to keep a spell like that going. Especially, and he kind of looks over at the dragon, and he looks at the statue, or looks at the atlas that's still there. He's like, especially for creatures this size like that, they definitely need a lot of magical ability to keep it going for even a minute, let alone longer than that.
It's freaking Billy Crystal.
So if the people said that those robed figures took off right before everything went crazy, and the machines were only alive for 1 to 2 minutes, does that track that possibly these strange figures could have done this animate thing and then took off and just let it run its course, or would they have had to have stuck around?
No, once you give an animate object an order, it goes until either its task is complete or the duration runs out.
I'm gonna look at Flynn. I really think those robed figures were involved with this.
I completely agree. Now, I do have a question for you, since I use a little bit of magic myself. Kind of touch.
Okay, what do you magically tie your shoes or something? Very impressive, I'm sure.
I'll sing you a song, old man. I got a question for you.
Try it, shorty.
Actually, I'm starting to like him a little bit more.
I was gonna say, Kira's kind of enjoying this now. She's a little annoyed, but now it's like, wait a sec.
All right, what do you got? Oh, wise one.
Well, when it comes to magic, if I'm going to increase the potency on some of my magic, it tends to do increasing things with it. It tends to have more potency.
If you want something to be better, you do better. Brilliant deduction.
Thanks, Golden Oldie. So, if they were going to do this with this spell in particular, what would that look like?
What are you saying? Would it look like longer or more themes?
Would it, if you increase the level on animate objects, does it just mean that it's going to do more things, or is it going to add more time?
Oh, I see. So, when you want to know what happens when animate object is cast at a higher potency. Got it.
Jen likes it too now.
So
he kind of grows on you.
The more powerful the spell, the bigger the object you can control. The bigger the object you can command.
Doesn't make it last longer though.
No, it's not meant to make it last longer. It's meant to make it be able to control something bigger and command something bigger.
They had to have had someone else with them then, because so it doesn't let you control more objects.
No, but you said there were 4 or 5 of these robed guys. You think 4 or 5 of them casting that same spell?
But there were 6 statues.
And if they were preparing it, and if they were,
would 4 or 5 guys be able to take 2 big?
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're small, like some of these smaller creatures, like you can, small creatures you can control up to small objects. You can control up 8 at a time just with one cast.
Gotcha.
So
that makes more sense.
So 4 or 5 people for that amount.
Yeah, qualifies small.
I'm small.
Yeah, she's small.
I'm talking inanimate object.
Mr. Wizard over here, he's small.
Not as small as you.
So
old
anything
man.
up into
Actually, you
our
are bigger than me,
size, they
isn't
could have been able to
That's a
control
no.
more than.
I think you guys are about the same size.
Yeah. So anything about our size, up to about our size, there could have been one person controlling more than one of them.
Well, what? So what was here? Because I see the big dragon, or I guess
There were two big ones: the Atlas and the dragon.
Yeah.
And then we had an owl bear, a spider,
a
phoenix, and
Sphinx.
something else. Sphinx.
I would have guessed.
I think the spider and the phoenix were small.
I would have guessed that. I would have guessed, yeah, the phoenix. And did anybody see how big was the phoenix? Like, put your arms.
I mean, I was honestly picturing these things to be man-sized.
Well, no. He described them when we were fighting them.
Yeah.
It was about
he said the
one
phoenix was
grid
smaller.
tile.
Yeah.
Oh, one grid tile.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was right on top of the phoenix, so I would know. So how big was the phoenix?
You determined that the phoenix was small. Small size.
Small.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
I just remember though. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, so like, any small object, you can control. Yeah, so a small would be considered like one thing you can control, and then like say the next size up from small would probably take like the power of controlling two small ones. So two small ones or one medium one. If you're going bigger than that, then you're looking at 4. So like 4 small, 2 medium, or 1 large. And he looks over at the Atlas. He says, I'd consider that huge. So that probably would take about 8. So 8 small, 4 medium, 2 large, or one of those big suckers. Out of character, go read the animate object spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it makes sense.
Back
It's
in
sounding
character.
like from what this guy is saying that the group of 4 or 5 people, given what was there, probably could have pulled him.
So I was just remembering right before the only thing that was weird right before this the statues came to life for real. So they were on wagons that were pulled by horses, and they had drivers.
Makes sense.
And the horses stopped, and the drivers couldn't get them to move.
Well,
and then the things came to life. I mean, I know that there are people out there that can talk to animals. I don't know how well they.
That I can't speak to. I do know that, probably, especially the huge ones, they probably would have, when they became animated more, might have gained some weight, added more pressure to the wagon. I can't speak to that. That's not my realm.
All right.
My realm is based on what was in front, what you guys described. But in
That's
terms
fair.
of like
Well, you asked
talking
if
to,
anything happened.
yeah.
That's what happened.
Well,
It's
thank
something
you
that
for
was weird that
answering
happened.
my question 5 minutes after I asked it. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, we figured you
know what? I
knew
was
there,
trying to
Mr.
follow
Wizard.
your math, and math is not my strong suit. So there's a
That's-
reason that I don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna
not
guess
a
you know how to
math
pick a
person.
pocket well, though. You look like the type.
I
Are you making
do
assumptions
not
about my
know
friend?
what you
Yeah,
are
I am,
talking
actually.
about.
Can I make an intimidation check?
I like math.
It's one of the few things I love in life.
It's alright, his social skills are
He's a
small,
sociopath.
just like the amount of hair on his head.
Oh no, I'm not saying that IRL. That's not out of character. That is in character. Believe you me.
Yeah.
I am not. I'm a musician. I count to 4 on a good day. Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
then
6,
repeat.
7, 8.
No. That's dancing. Music.
Which you are
That's
terrible
true.
at, and
Who
Morag
was
is
the
terrible
guy?
at.
Whoa, I'm good at dancing.
That's why I
In real
changed it. You
life?
Morag.
Oh. Okay.
You as in Morag.
Fair. Well, I think I appreciate your help, sir. I don't. Do we have any other questions? I feel like we need to go talk to Icewind next.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
only other questions would be if he knows of a group of magic users that wear short robes.
Yeah.
brown robes.
Nope.
I guess.
That, I mean, I'm sure if they were a group from, I don't, you know, people that hang out together tend to wear the same thing. But all I can say, I don't, you know, I stay in town and I help out the governor as to the best of my abilities. So, yeah, never short robes. Lots of people wear short robes.
All right.
You?
Points to Flynn, says he probably wears short robes. Why don't you question him?
If you would like to accompany us, you're more than welcome to, but you don't have to.
I
We're
certainly
going
will
to
not.
go to Icewind, where the
Congratulations.
governor will soon be going.
Congratulations. I have very important things to do back at the estate.
I was serious
So,
about that intimidation check.
We
but-
were
were
had
you?
asked for a copy
Go ahead
of
and roll
your
it.
notes. Oh, that's
Oh.
right.
Oh, those meeting notes, yeah.
yeah, roll your intimidation
From,
check, I guess,
your
Clancy.
What is-
What are you doing to intimidate him?
And why? He's just a grumpy old man.
And why?
I'm
What are
just
you
trying to
doing
get
to
this.
intimidate him?
I'm just gonna say something to him.
Okay.
Because he's pissing Clancy off, basically.
All right. What'd you roll?
Because Clancy likes Flynn.
They're BFFs now.
I got a new math now. Wait. 19, 23.
23.
'Cause I have a plus
Okay.
6 to intimidation.
All right, what do you say?
Alright, so Clancy's gonna look at him. Listen here, you fresh fuck. You may be better at magic than me, but I know blades a lot better than you probably do. And I can cut you in places that you will never have thought possible that I could cut you in. So how about you lose the attitude and be more helpful, or you'll find out the hard way how skilled I am with the blade. Understand?
Right at that moment, Flynn's got to take out his little loot and just go ching-ching.
Kira's gonna like look over at Clancy like, what the? What?
Well,
Okay.
Getting feisty now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Pover kind of steps back and goes, all right. Sorry. It's been a stressful day. And I'm not a people person. I'm sorry.
Clancy is a friend. He really has been a good friend of mine.
For the record, I thought you were very helpful, and the meeting notes.
Yes. Yeah. And he takes out a little notepad, and you see where the notes are. He takes a piece of paper out of the back of his tablet and kind of, snaps his fingers, and then you see him snap his fingers, and then the ink on the page that he's looking at magically copies, and you see the letters floating in midair, and then magically transcribe onto the piece of paper that he tore off. And it says,
Fancy.
Yeah,
learn that trick, Flynn.
And he hands it to you, keeping a side eye on Clancy.
I'll take it.
He does that. Morag's going to look at him and say, That's quite nice. Does it work with hands?
Regrettably not.
Hands.
You looking to move a hand
Sorry.
to another hand?
She's gonna take the glove off and just be like, oh, and then put it back on.
All right. And so he's gonna hand you a note and say, all right, well, I'm out of here. Good day. And he walks off.
I said good day.
I said good day.
To
Quite
think.
liked him.
I'd be good
I think
morning.
that was a
to
bit
death.
overkill, Clancy. I quite liked him.
I didn't really like his attitude. He's questioning my magic. He was being a dickhole to Flynn. No.
Clancy,
He
go!
was, but he was still giving us information.
Wow, Clancy,
I
I've never
wasn't
seen
actually
this
going to
side
stop
of you.
him.
You
I
look
just
like you're
needed
ready
him
to
to
punch
shut the hell
something.
up.
Well, I hope he didn't have any more information for us.
Well, my
He does.
magic
We can
tends to
always
land
get
in
Yeah,
charming
just like
skills,
Clancy.
and clearly he's lacking in that field.
So I
All
think
right.
that it's been confirmed, though. We really need to try. I know the guards are notified of this rogue group. My honest thought here is this is, if not tied to the Dragon's Claw, tied to something bigger than the Dragon's Claw.
Well, I think we need to find out if it's happened in other cities. If it's happened in other cities, then it's definitely bigger. So I think our next step is probably talk to Icewind and see if he's had a chance to talk to the other cities.
Absolutely.
Oh no.
And then maybe we can find out if the gods found anything in the essays.
Let's please grab lunch on the way.
I'm just
Want a waffle? I've got
Mr.
a spare.
Yeah, nom. Mr. DM.
Yes.
Just going to, at that, just thinking about the fact that it could have happened as soon as they said out loud that it could have happened in other cities, and think this could be an actual organization. Does this sound like an organization I know?
Not that you know, but you obviously have experience with nefarious groups.
I'm gonna go white, and I'm just gonna shut up.
Have a waffle. Snack makes everything better.
I have one.
Okay, well,
You good over there, Flynn?
So
I don't
as
know.
you alright, so as you're like white-faced eating your waffle, the guard you talked to earlier, he actually comes back and says, "Hey, so I took your advice earlier, and me and some of the other troops, we went and checked some of those like hidden alleyways, right? We found there wasn't really anything like super suspicious, but what we did find was a it was like some weird, like almost like a burn on the ground, which is really weird because it was like stone. It didn't look like anything was burned, but it looked like something.
I'm instantly
was
just gonna
done
turn
there.
and start yelling in the direction of that guy, the little gnome guy. Prowl, speaking, Jeffrey.
Pova.
What?
Hey, before you go.
What?
Does sound familiar? Burn mark on the ground, where there's nothing but.
Could be any number of things. I'd say ask your magic friend, but I don't want him to stab me. So it could be any
I won't
number of
stab you
things.
as long as you have a polite attitude. My problem was your attitude.
Okay. Anyway, then he kind of walks back and he goes to the guard. He said, "Where did you see this burn mark?" And the guard goes, "Well, yeah, it looked like it was like partially. It was at a dead end, and it was like on the wall. Like it was a solid wall. We touched the solid wall, and it was like it was solid. Like we all gave it a good push, and it didn't give or anything, but it was like charred." And he said, and so Povar sits there and goes, "Well, I mean, I'd have to, I'd have to go over, but it could be any kind of portal type spell. I know something like Dimension Door has a type ability where you can open up a door to a portal, within a certain number of distance. It could be a true portal, it could be any number of things, but definitely burn marks on a wall that's solid sounds like some kind of portal."
So this is how they escaped.
I mean, at this point, Flynn's going to speak right up and say, "Well, I mean, I kind of figured that much, but I never heard of like burn marks because I mean, Flynn is familiar with the spell of Dimension Door. He just doesn't know it himself."
Yeah. Well, that's
So
why
you just never saw it, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said it could be any number of things. So. It could be any portal type spell or artifact
So probably
or
whoever
something
did
like
this
that.
is long gone.
I'm sure.
Well,
But
identified. Is identified? Can that actually
It's for items.
It's only for items?
Yep.
It's not on areas? Okay.
Yeah, you'd want like detect magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that.
And even then, it's only active magic,
Yeah,
so
it's
I
not-
don't know that you'd really see a good residue of whatever type it was, but
Yep.
maybe.
Yeah, he says, "All right, bye."
But
and
okay,
walks off.
Icewind needs to know about this.
thanks again.
Yep.
There needs to be a
All right.
class for like magic detective.
Telling
Yeah,
you,
and the
skill
guard
expert.
and the guard's like, "All right, yeah, well, we're gonna."
Here's next level up.
Yep, we're gonna go back to finishing cleanup and stuff, but I just wanted to make sure you knew because you gave us a really good idea. So thanks again. And they turn around and walk off.
Yep. To discuss with Icewind.
Yeah,
All right.
I think Iceland's the next stop.
So, the party making their way to the garrison, clues in hand, maybe seeing a puzzle laid out on a table. Not sure where any of the pieces go or what the final image will look like. But you got it out of the box. And now you'll have to see what image is made. I think at this point we will call it a night.
Next time on Reality Break.
Next time on Reality Break. Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons. So first off, thank you guys. I apologize for missing earlier, but we did have a raid earlier.
We did.
We did take care of them in the chat. And
we did.
Give them a shout out.
Lil Knees, thank you for the raid.
Yep.
That's very much appreciated. And we had a couple new follows and a new sub, so that is fantastic. Thank you for that.
That's awesome.
Very much appreciated. And another new follow as I'm just talking about it. Woo! Welcome to the wrap up.
Hey.
So
we also had a really active chat tonight, which I really loved. So
yes,
that was really
yes, thank you. We like to keep focused on the game and what we're doing, but we always love, people coming in and chatting and giving us what they think is going on and cheering us on or booing the villain or what have you. So it's very much appreciated.
Booing the villain.
I'm saying words at this point. So yeah. So thanks for everybody that hung around. Thanks for everybody. I believe, according to what I'm looking at, we are at 99 now.
We
Oh,
where's
who wants to be the 100th?
Wants to be our 100th follower.
So I think since we are so close, the next time, if and when the next time we go and we hit 100, we might have to do something special for that 100th person. So, but make sure you give us a follow on the socials, and we'll put that out there. But for everyone that hung out, thank you, and all the new people that hang out, welcome. I know. If you guys have any questions about what's going on, feel free to hop into our Discord or give the Twitter, or Instagram or TikTok a follow, or you can catch up on everything that's happened up until this point. But yeah, we thank you, and thank you to my wonderful players for investigating and perceiving and intimidating and
I'm so glad I rolled well on that because I really wanted my line.
Oh, if you had rolled bad, it would have been curtains for you, my friend. It would have been curtains for you.
I will say thank you for giving us another NPC, one of those kinds that you love to hate.
It's funny, like I saw I've on a couple of TikToks, I've said, I've seen other GMs go, hey, GMs, do you want an NPC that your players will love? Make them grumpy. Players, for whatever reason, love grumpy characters.
Lockjaw's not grumpy.
Yeah.
I know. Lockjaw's great.
You're either gonna go real lovable or the grumpy.
Yeah,
one
either
anyway.
the one that's super lovable that you guys are great, or the super grump for whatever reason.
Yeah, but for Clancy as a magic user, having that dude question his magic.
I like seeing that come out.
Yeah,
sort of like entitlement.
Personality. Well, a little personality.
Yeah.
Say, look, man, I'm a pretty good magic user, and I'm also pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at stabbing, so step up.
And you look pretty stabbable.
He's an old gnome. He probably would have been stabbed very easily. So, but yeah. So thanks to you guys for being awesome.
Thank you.
As always, you're welcome. So as always, the replay will be at 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern tomorrow. Otherwise, we will be back next Tuesday to see where the party ends up going from here. But unfortunately, it is time for us to head back to the real world. I want to hang out with you guys for forever, but I can't because I have
to reality. Whoop! There goes
gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. Oh, he's so mom's spaghetti. That's all I know. Mom's spaghetti.
Knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater.
Nevada
already.
nuts.
Mom spaghetti.
I'm so white right now. That's ridiculous.
Man, right now? Only right now?
Right now. I've been totally cool before this, but right in this moment, over. That's it.
Okay.
It's over. All right. Well, time for us to head back to the real world. For the people that watch the replay tomorrow, thank you, appreciate you. Otherwise,
Thank
we will
you.
see you guys next week. So, bye.
Bye.